Today from Lamoure, two of the best team in the 9-man ranks do battles for every team's ultimate goal, a trip to the Dakota Bowl. It's the 7-2 Linton HMB Lions against the top-ranked and undefeated Lamoure Litchfield Marion Lobos right here on Beck. Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining us here on the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. I'm David Sugarman, he's Noah Reed. Noah, both these teams, it's been a while since they've been to the Dakota Bowl. You start off with the Lions. The last time they were there, 2011. Put that in perspective, head coach Tanner Perrington was the senior quarterback of that team. This iteration of the Lions has faced a ton of adversity this season. They've been up to the challenge every time, though.
Yeah, they've played really well this season, and it may have been since 2011 since they've been in the Dakota Bowl, but it's the second consecutive year that they're in the semifinals. They're one of four remaining teams in the state. They lost in double overtime at Cavalier in the semifinals a season ago, and that's something Tanner Perrington has said has been on his team's mind all season long. They haven't forgotten about it, and he said, we don't want to feel that way again. They think they've got a good chance against the number one team in the state on the road today to be able to get back to the Dakota Bowl.
As for Lamoure Litchfield Marion, 9-0 this season. They haven't been there in nearly 20 years, 2003, but they looked like a contender all the way back in August, and I don't think they've given many people a reason to change their mind.
No, not at all. 3 games where they've scored at least 70 points this season. They have one of the best, if not the best, offenses in the state. They've been dominant from the start. 30 points is the closest game they've had this season. You're right. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that this is the best team in the state and maybe the best contender to win the whole thing at the 9-man level.
It's the Lobos and the Lions with a trip to the Dakota Bowl on the line. It's all coming up right here on Beck.
This is the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. For all your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union insurance agent or go to www.fumic.com.
Just a few minutes away from kickoff here on the 9-man football semifinals in Lamoure at Townsend Field. The #1 ranked Lamoure Litchfield Marion Lobos and the Linton HMB Lions. Thanks for joining us here on the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. For all your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent or go to www.fumic.com. Before we get into the Lions and the Lobos matchup, let's take a look around the region, presented by West Dakota Chevy Dealers. Discover something strong at your local Chevy dealer. Visit westdakotachevy.com. And first, at the top of the screen, a lot of people here are going to pay attention to that matchup, Beach and Cavalier. Buccaneers picked up a big win at Kidder County last week. A win in that one. We'll play the winner of this game in next Saturday's Dakota Bowl. Also on Beck today, it's Kindred at St. Mary's in the Class 2A semifinals. That game already going on right now. 1:30 kick at last check. St. Mary's up 7-0 in the Class A semifinals. Kicking off in just a couple of minutes. Bishop Ryan at Langdon area Edmore Munich. That one is on Beck Sports Plus East, and in that game, they'll play the winner of Lisbon and Velva in the Class A semifinals. And then Tuesday on Beck Sports Plus, Region 3 volleyball tournament action, kicking off first serve at 7 o'clock, Ellendale at Linton HMB. That was a look around the region, presented by West Dakota Chevy Dealers. Now let's take a look at our Eventide Senior Living communities to the game. Eventide Senior Living, find out more at eventide.org. And first, for the 7-2 and visiting Lions. Look, this is a team, Noah, that scores almost 40 points a game, so it sounds hard to believe, but they want to slow this game down.
Yeah, they do. And like you said, Linton HMB is a team that has a lot of offensive weapons, and they can score 40, 50 points a game. But Lamoure's a team that wants to go out there. They've scored 70 3 different times this season. So Lamoure can score a lot, and Linton HMB believes that their best chance to win today is slowing down that Lamoure offense, keeping the game at a slower pace, keeping Lamoure's offense off the field. If they can play somewhere in the 20s, maybe even the 30s, they feel comfortable with that.
That Lamoure offense gets a lot of the attention, and rightfully so, but defensively they only give up about 10 points a game, and that's a big key for them today.
Yeah, it certainly is. They got to be able to keep contained. There's two guys in Trey Jacob and Lucas Schumacher, the running back and the quarterback, that are two players that can run the football really well, and if they can get outside of the tackles, they're really dangerous and they can score touchdowns at any moment.
You see the Lobos starting lineup coming out, people getting excited here for this one. Let's take a look at our players to watch here in our Beck Sports player matchup, and two of the best running backs, not just in this region, but just in this state, all put together. You take a look at Trey Jacob first. He has 23 touchdowns. Last week, he set the single-season rushing record for the Lions at 1,856 yards. What more can you say about him?
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable, right? And I think he gets overshadowed a little bit by Lucas Schumacher, which is crazy to say, right? Because he's got the school record for over 1,800 rushing yards in a season. With a good day today, he could go over 1,000. Trey Jacob is unbelievable, and he's a huge part why Linton HMB has had a great season. They find themselves in the semis again.
You take a look at his halfback counterpart, Brett Wendell, has 100 less yards than Jacob, but he has carried the ball 88 less times. That's not an insult to Jacob, but it's certainly plenty impressive. He's also got 18 scores on the season.
Yeah, he averages just under 10 yards per carry. That's unbelievable at any level, no matter who you're playing. 10 yards per carry. Had a big game last week in the quarterfinals, rushing for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Need him to do much of the same, because that can open up the pass game for Corbin Potts and this team.
Winner to the Dakota Bowl, loser goes home. We're going to have all the action coming up soon here on Beck Sports Plus West. Don't you go anywhere.
This presentation on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Farmers Union Insurance, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Beck Communications Cooperative, DRN.
Go time for second-year head coach Tanner Purrington and the Linton HNB Lions. 7-2 on the season, and they take on the #1 ranked team in 9-man, the 9-0 Lamoure Litchfield Marion Lobos. A trip to the Dakota Bowl on the line here today in Lamoure. David Sugarman alongside Noah Reed here for Beck Sports Plus West. So happy you could join us today for a chilly but not too breezy afternoon, much better than a week ago across the state of North Dakota as we get set for kickoff. Remind you that it's brought to you by Dagelman Industries. Visit Dagelman.com for more information and to find an authorized dealer near you. Dagelman Industries, engineered tough. Lions set to kick it away. They do just that. It's picked up by Tate Mart at the 20-yard line. Going right to left. Makes his way across the field. Gets a little bit of room on the sideline before being escorted out into the dirt as we're in a hybrid football field baseball stadium today, and the Lobos will set up shop at about the 30-yard line. And boy, we've talked about it already. It seems like a lot today, Noah, but it's worth mentioning. This is a dynamic offense with a lot of weapons. They score over 50 points a game. As you see, there's actually was a penalty on the kickoff, block in the back, so the Lobos will move back a few yards. But they had a stretch this season where they had 3 consecutive games scoring 70 or more points.
Yeah, I mean, the offense has been incredible this season. They've got a number of weapons: quarterback, running back, a couple wide receivers, some tight ends. This offense is lethal, and they want to be as high tempo as they can.
Starting from their own 14-yard line. They hand it off up the middle. Not much work in that time for Brett Wendell.
Well, they want to get him involved early because they can open up the pass game, and they can do a little bit of everything, right? Run and pass, they're very balanced, but you can get Wendell going early. He's one of the best running backs in the state, and that just makes him so much more difficult to have to defend here, especially on this opening drive.
2nd and 7 from the 17. Junior quarterback Corbin Potts. They pitch out to Wendell again, and Wendell gets up the sideline and, boy, punishing the hit, and he's escorted out by his running back counterpart today, Trey Jacob. Going to be saying their names both a lot today, and both of them very physical. You can see it on this play.
Yeah, it was just a battle of 2 guys running hard to that sideline. Wendell picks up quite a big gain there that time, able to pick up quite a few yards and a good start to this drive here for Lamoure.
Enough for the first down, out to the 25. Draw play for Wendell. Brett Wendell, 18 touchdowns on the season, and he was a workhorse last week in their win. 32-0 in their last contest against North Border in the state quarterfinals, and 215 yards, 2 touchdowns on 37 carries. He's already got 3 here so far today. And they're just going to keep working him. This time, push back! The Lions line, Derek Vetter and company in on the stop.
It's a really nice job. They've gone to Wendell play after play on this opening drive. Linton HMB's defensive line gets the penetration. They stop a tough running back in Wendell, and it sets them way behind the chains here on 3rd and long.
Big opportunity for the Lions to get off the field early. 3-yard loss on the run. It'll be 3rd down and 8 from the 27. Need to make it to the 35. Potts back to pass for the first time today. Under pressure, wrapped up to the turf. Rafe Kalama, the senior, with the sack.
That is back-to-back plays now that Linton HMB defensive line has won the battle in the trenches. They get stop on Wendell's run, and then they do not allow Potts any time to throw. Kalama explodes through, gets the sack. That is a huge opening drive for this Linton HMB defense against the best offense in the state in Lamoure.
Anthony Hansen, the backup quarterback, is back to punt, and the starting quarterback for the Lions, Lucas Schumacher, back to receive. And he's going to let it bounce, takes a good Lobos roll just inside the 40-yard line, and that's where Schumacher and company will set up shop, but couldn't have asked for a much better start.
Yeah, I mean, the defense did a really nice job. I think I would have liked to see Schumacher that time maybe pick up the ball, and even if he just immediately falls on the ground and doesn't pick up a lot of yardage, there was quite a bit of room between him and the punt team for Lamoure. He could have slid down and maybe that saves 5 to 10 yards, but nothing wrong with the safe move of letting the football continue to roll and don't risk a turnover there. You still got really good starting field position to open the drive for your first offensive try of the day.
Schumacher will start on his own 38-yard line. He's got Trey Jacob at the top of the I formation. They hand it off to him, find some space up the middle, breaks out of a couple of tackles, down the sideline. Trey Jacob with a good start. First down and into plus territory.
Well, we highlighted both running backs to start the show today, and it's quite apparent that after one run, Trey Jacob is winning that battle. The Linton HMB defense didn't allow a whole lot of room for Wendell to run, but this time around, a great job by Jacob, makes a couple guys miss and already inside Linton, or rather Lamoure territory.
A 19-yard pickup on the first carry of the day for Jacob. They give it off to him again. Why not? Carves his way up the middle for another chunk play. And as good as Trey Jacob has been this season, Tanner Purrington was quick to point out that his offensive line has done an excellent job all year long, and they've made some good holes for him here early.
They've got a really young offensive line, and coming into the season, they were a little inexperienced, but you're right. Coach Purrington said that they have done a fantastic job as the season has gone on, progressing, giving some good protection for Schumacher to throw, and also great blocking for Jacob in the run game.
Second down and 1. They give off to Jacob again. Looked like he lunged forward and got enough to move the chains. No word yet. In fact, he does.
Yeah, that was the first time that Lamoure had actually slowed down the run game of Jacob, but like you said, all Linton HMB wanted was the first down there, and that's exactly what they get to keep the drive going and move the chains.
3 carries for 30 yards to start the game for Jacob. First and 10 from the 29. Grant Bush, the only receiver to the bottom of the formation. They just give it to Jacob again, and this time a swarm of black jerseys in there on the stop. Brett Wendell in there first.
Yeah, they're starting to realize that Linton HMB really wants to establish the run game here. We talked about what Linton wanted to do coming into this game, and it was control the time of possession, slow the football game down, keep Lamoure's offense off the field, and the number one way to do that is to continue to attack on the ground with Trey Jacob.
Schumacher, Jacob up the left side, gets towards the sideline and right into the chest of Reed Wendell there. Trey Jacob knows how to finish a run.
Every time he lowers that shoulder down and makes sure that he doesn't get hit backwards, he wants to make sure he keeps running forward, pick up some extra yardage as he's falling down. That's a great run from Trey Jacob, and it's been a flawless start to this game for Linton on both sides of football. Defensively getting the stop, but then the offense moving the football down the field with ease to start.
Picks up just enough for the first down. Into the red zone, the Lions go. First and 10 from the 20. Pitch out to Jacob once again, and this time he's taken down Garrett Hebel. Nice job coming in low for the tackle.
Yeah, it's an awesome job by Hebel. Makes a tackle on Jacob, who's a guy that hasn't been easy to tackle so far for this Lamoure defense. Not able to make anybody miss that time. Hebel coming in low, making sure he gets the tackle at the ankles.
And for the first time, they'll have to go to somebody else, Trey Jacob being subbed out of the game. See Schumacher in the shotgun for the first time today. Takes the snap and he'll take it himself. Schumacher gets to the sideline, scampers towards the end zone. Lions wanted the score, not quite in, couldn't get past the pylon, but Lucas Schumacher showing off the wheels.
Well, it's a great play call. They had 3 wide receivers set out to the right side, and it was a quarterback draw the entire time, keeping Schumacher to the left. He gets really close to the end zone that time, but a little bit short here, but a first down opportunity inside the 5-yard line here for Linton HMB.
First and goal from the 3-yard line as we come up on the halfway point of this first quarter. Trey Jacob back in the game. They give it to him, and nothing working that time. The Lobos trying to make a stand here. Coming off a shutout win over over North Border last week, 32-0.
That's the second closest game they've had all season. 30 points is the closest Lamoure has played this season. They have dominated both sides of the ball.
Second and goal from the 2. Up the middle, they go with the fullback this time, pushing his way forward into the end zone. Dean Vetter, and the Lions get on the board first. Nine plays, 62 yards, and Linton HMB takes a 6-0 lead.
What a start here for the Lions. They get the stop on defense. They get a long drive down the field, doing everything on the ground between Jacob and Vetter and Schumacher, and they score the first points of the game.
Now to look for the conversion. Couple of men in motion. That's Landon Bush on the end of the line. Schumacher tries to take it himself, and he's in. Tack on 2 more. Lions with their dream start, a stop and a score, and an 8-0 lead here on Beck.
Founded in 1950 as Dickey Rural Telephone, DRN has a lot to celebrate in our 70 years. Our services have changed, but one thing hasn't: our commitment to our members to furnish high-quality communications. DRN ReadyTech is 60 full-time employees, 4,600 miles of fiber, serving 7,600 access lines and 7,000 internet customers in 32 exchanges. We are proud to be the telecommunications cooperative in southeastern North Dakota for the past 70 years and into the future.
Today's game on Beck is brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Bell Bank, Beck, and DRN. David Sugarman and Noah Reed here from Lamoure, where the Lobos are in a spot that they haven't been in all that much this season, trailing 8-0 right now. The Lions get on the board after a 9-play, 62-yard drive, courtesy of Dean Vetter on the 2-yard touchdown. The junior fullback punching it in, and now the Lobos await their second possession of the day. Short kick gets picked up by the quarterback, Corbin Potts. Potts makes one man fall to the turf. Pretty juke. Out to the 40 and then running over Trey Jacob, and a little bit of gymnastics there at the end of that one to get up Corbin Potts out to the 42.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot for Lamoure. Like you said, they're not used to being down in games. They've won every game by at least 30 this season. How do they respond here? Because they didn't have a good offensive drive to start the game. Then the defense got scored on. They're not in a good spot right now, but field position is good here for Corbin Potts in this offense to try to respond and tie the game.
Potts in the shotgun. He's yet to pass the football today. And a flag on the foot play. So the Lobos will move it back on a false start. So uncharacteristic start for Lamoure Litchfield Marion right now.
Yeah, a couple penalties. We saw one on the opening kickoff of the game that backed them up pretty deep, close to their own 10 to start the drive. And then on the first play of this drive, the false start sets them back behind the chains. And before they even have a play, they have to start 1st and 15.
So it'll be 1st and 15 back at their own 38-yard line. They pitch it out to Brett Wendell, cuts it up the middle, but a slew of white jerseys there to introduce him to the turf. And Rafe Kalama, one of the first guys in on the action again. He already had a big tackle for loss on the first drive. He's playing well.
He is playing really well, and you got to give credit to this Linton HMB defense. Through the first 2 drives, they have come to play some football against a great offense in Lamoure.
Brett Wendell back-to-back carries of -3 yards now. And on 2nd and 18, you got Potts in the shotgun, Wendell sidecar right. Potts throws in dart over the middle. It's to his tight end, Colton Ness, bouncing off tacklers. Colton Ness, 4 catches and 2 scores a week ago. And now he picks up a first down.
Well, I think we've seen now that the pass game might be something that Lamoure goes to a little bit more. They've struggled with the run the past few plays, but they throw with Potts. He connects with his tight end and Ness, who's had a phenomenal season. They pick up the first down, and that was the first real big play for Lamoure today.
22 yards on the pitch and catch. They give it off to Wendell again, up the left side, breaks out of a couple of tackles before being spun to the ground by Jacob.
Well, it's only a matter of time before you start getting Wendell to have some big carries on the offensive side of the ball here. He's struggled the past couple of times getting shut down behind the line, but a nice run there, picks up 4 or 5 yards, and sets up a second down and medium.
And this is what makes this offense so dangerous. The multitude of abilities of our team is what head coach Andy Delabar had to say. Potts back to throw, aims an arrow over the middle, it's caught! Inside the red zone, it's Charlie Bowman. Right on the money, Bowman found the soft spot in the defense. Down to the 17-yard line, 21-yard pickup. Now they give it to Wendell. He dances to the outside, makes a couple men miss. And this is the Lobos offense that people are used to seeing this season.
Yeah, and we've seen it alternating. Pass, run on this drive, and that's opened things up. They were run exclusive in the first drive, and I think Linton HMB caught on to that, slowed them down, but not on this drive. Lamoure's mixed it well. The balance is strong, and it's led them down the field with ease.
2nd and 3 from the 10. Potts for Wendell again. And Lions able to sniff it out. Short gain. Near the sticks.
I think they gave it to him.
So big pickup if that's the case. Indeed it is. It'll be first down and goal from the 6. Wendell in top of the eye. His fullback Garrett Hebel in front of him. Play action fake. Potts rolls towards the sideline, throws end zone. Hebel. And the Lobos have a chance to tie this thing up.
Great job rolling out there. It looked like he was going to run, stays behind the line of scrimmage, finds a wide open Hebel in the end zone.
A 57-yard touchdown drive, and it's the backup quarterback right now to take the snap, Anthony Mason, and he looks to throw, and incomplete. So the Lions stay in front, but the Lobos get on the board. 2:43 to go in the first.
This presentation on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Farmers Union Insurance, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Beck Communications Cooperative, DRN.
A 57-yard touchdown drive gets Lamoure Litchfield Marion onto the scoreboard. They trail by 2 after the failed conversion, but no, we touched on that last drive. That's what really makes the Lobos dangerous. We saw a couple of nice Wendell runs, and then Corbin Potts 3 for 3, and he hit 3 different targets.
Yeah, and on the first drive, they went just on the ground the entire time, and I think Linton HMB was able to notice that. They played it well, and then they switched it a little bit. Lamoure did, making sure that they went through the air a little bit more. Corbin Potts was good on the drive, like you said, completed all 3 of his pass attempts. They kept the Linton HMB defense guessing, and it was with ease that Lamoure moved the football down the field.
Backup QB Trace King is back to receive for the Lions. 2:43 to go in this first quarter. And it's a short kick. Touched by the Lions. Lobos recover. Wow, what a change of events. We need to take another look. I'm not sure that was an intentional onside kick. It looked like he was trying to kick it deep. I'm not sure. What do you think, Noah?
I think it was more of a squib attempt. I don't know if he was necessarily trying to go too deep, but I think you're right. I'm not sure that was a full-on onside kick. I think he was just trying to get it on the ground and squib it, but hey, it works out perfectly for Lamoure. They get the football back.
Charlie Bowman recovers. Potts wants it all on the first play. Deep. Caught by Bowman. Spins away from Schumacher. Charlie Bowman. And the Lobos go deep on play number 1 of the drive.
That is awesome. You make a great play getting an onside kick, and then you go right to the air with the big play. They talk about wanting to get a home run after a big play on special teams. Lamoure does exactly that.
A 35-yard pickup for Bowman. He's already got 2 grabs for 56 yards as Wendell picks up a few more yards on the carry. And if you're Linton HMB, all of a sudden, this is a big stand.
Yeah, I mean, it's big. It feels like you got punched in the face, right? Right after going down, scoring the touchdown, Lamoure scores on you. They get the onside kick in 2 plays into the drive, and they've already got the ball inside the 10-yard line. So this is an incredible start for Lamoure after the first drive didn't go as planned. They have responded and played really well.
2nd down and 5 from the 9. Wendell sheds 1 tackle and makes his way a little past the original line of scrimmage, and a crucial 3rd down on the way.
Yeah, it's 3rd and short. He was able to get a yard or 2 after he could have been stopped in the backfield, so a nice job by Wendell to fight for that extra yardage. Now you're at about 3rd and 3 and an opportunity to score again and go up.
3rd down, play action fake. Potts rolling, tucks and runs. Has the 1st down, looking for more. Football's loose. Linton thinks they have it, but no. The official says that Potts was down. A good break because the Lions were about to fall on this football. Let's take a second look.
It's a great job by Potts, who's getting up a little slow after that play. He makes something out of nothing. His wide receivers weren't open downfield, but he takes off and runs and took a big hit afterwards.
And Potts did not get enough for the 1st down. You can see here, it does look like he was clearly down before that football came out, but it is 4th and 1 from the 5. Wendell in the eye. They give it to him. Trouble with the pitch. Lions think they have it. And they do. Linton makes a stand. Lucas Schumacher comes out with the ball from the bottom of the pile. And Wendell just never had a handle on the pitch.
2nd consecutive play that could have been called a fumble. They say the first time his knee was down. 2nd time, they just never got the handoff correct. Wendell had some miscommunication and trouble getting the ball from Potts that time. Linton HMB falls on it, and that's a huge play for the defense to force the turnover and get the football back here towards the end of the 1st.
Lions will start backed up on their own 6-yard line. Prescribe the pill to Jacob, who gives the Lions some breathing room.
You got to continue to go with that. I mean, Trey Jacob has run the football so well in this 1st quarter. Ground game has been special so far. Lamoure really hasn't had an answer to slow him down yet.
And that could bring the 1st quarter to a close. Doesn't look like Linton HMB is in an awful hurry to snap the football. And indeed it will. Lions come up with a huge stop to close out the 1st quarter and head into the 2nd with a 2-point lead. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. What looked like a squib kick ends up being an accidental onside. Lamoure Litchfield Marion recovers. They get all the way inside the 10-yard line. 4th and 1 at the 5, and all-world running back Brett Wendell just could not handle the pitch. Lions recover the football, and now they'll have it in their own end. It'll be 2nd down and 5 from their own 11-yard line to start this second quarter. David Sugarman alongside Noah Reed here from Lamoure in this 9-man football semifinal matchup. And what a start for the Lions defensively. They force a punt on the first drive. They give up a touchdown on the second, but then make a big stop in the red zone.
And that was a big stop considering that Lamoure was moving the football so well. They were inside the 10-yard line. Linton forces the fumble. They fall on it, and they don't allow Lamoure to take the lead.
Jacob up the middle. Picks up maybe a yard or two.
It's been a good start on the ground right now for Linton HMB. They've gone Trey Jacobs away almost the entire time. Vetter's been in on it. The quarterback Schumacher has ran it once or twice. But as a whole, a few different guys able to run the football for Linton, and they've done so really nice so far in this first half.
Linton's run 11 offensive plays. 9 have been runs for Trey Jacob, and they've all been running plays. But now 3rd and 4, we see Schumacher in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the bottom of the formation. Schumacher will keep it himself, go the opposite way, up the middle. Looked like he rolled in front of the chains.
And this is, if this is your first time seeing Linton HMB, you're thinking, well, 12 run plays, I don't know if they can throw the football. They can. Lucas Schumacher's a great quarterback, but they want to slow this game down and keep the Lamoure offense, who scored over 70 points in 3 games this season, off the field as much as they can. They've got a good running back in Jacob. They've got a good running quarterback in Schumacher. They're content to run the football a lot today.
1st and 10 from the 19. Schumacher, 7 touchdowns to just 2 picks so far this season. Whistle before the play. The official discussing now, no word if it was a timeout or a penalty. And timeout on the field. Lobos want to talk things over. We'll come back after this.
Is your business phone system outdated and expensive to maintain? Most large VoIP companies leave you on hold or struggling through online support and training for your employees. With Beck Connect, you always have fast, friendly, local support. Familiar faces with the know-how to keep you connected. Take advantage of the newest technology like video conferencing and virtual meeting rooms. Beck Connect gives you all the features you need with no upfront investment and no obsolete hardware or software ever again. Simplify your communications. Choose local. Choose Beck Connect.
To say the Lions have faced some adversity would be an understatement. This was on the way to their first-round postseason game against Surrey. The trailer fell off the back of the school bus. Nobody noticed for about 30 miles. They had to go back and flip it over. They recovered all their equipment, and they ended up with a first-round playoff win, 24-6 at Surrey, on their way here to the state semifinals. 1st down and 10. Schumacher down the sideline. He's got Grant Bush out past the 40.
That's a really nice job out of the timeout there for Linton HMB. First time we see Schumacher roll to pass, and a perfect one at that on the sideline. A 1st down. Linton HMB moving the football again here at the beginning of this drive.
I got to tell you, going back to that video, if that ever happened to us, we would need to call in the National Guard to get that thing on its side.
Yeah, that was a lot of strength in that video. Just a few people is all it took to flip that thing over.
That's where all that sled work comes into play.
Yep.
1st and 10 from the 45. It's Jacob, and he's submarine as he lunges just past the 45.
Well, you might see them start to mix in the pass a little bit more. It was a lot of run to begin this game for Linton HMB, and we knew they wanted to do that coming into it to slow it down and control the clock. But we've seen Schumacher throw once. It was a good pass. He's been a great quarterback all season long. They can throw it very well.
Under center with just one receiver in the formation. Jacob spins out of 1 tackle, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. And it's 43 degrees today, but not much wind, much different than last week. All across the state of North Dakota, there were massive wind gusts. They didn't need much help. Linton beat TGU last week 34-0, but Schumacher only one completion and went for -7 yards, but nobody was really trying to throw the football unless they had to last week.
Yeah, they got up pretty early in that game. They said, we'll stick to the ground. We don't really need to be throwing it into 35-mile-an-hour winds. Wind gusts got up to about 50 last Saturday. They didn't want to bother with that. They just ran the football and got out of there quickly with a win.
Schumacher on 3rd and 10. Bush did not get a foot down in bounds. He had a lot of real estate to work with, but couldn't make it happen.
It's a good pass and rolling. He just couldn't get the foot down in play, so it brings up 4th down.
So now 4th down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Lions started this drive from their own 6-yard line after recovering the Brett Wendell fumble. And faith in their defense, they'll keep the offense out there.
Big play here. Only have to pick up a couple inches. I wouldn't be surprised if Schumacher keeps it.
Play action fake. They go the opposite way for Trey Jacob. He's got plenty of room to work with. Jacob down the sideline, inside the 40.
That is a phenomenal play call by Tanner Purinton, because you think run, run, run. Instead, they go play action. Lamoure sells out on the run. He rolls all the way to the right, flips it back to his running back, Jacob, who's on the left side of the field, and there wasn't a defender close to him. A big gain, more importantly, the 1st down and inside Lamoure territory.
13-yard pickup. Jacob with his first catch of the day. That makes Schumacher 2 for 3 for 38 yards to the 37. And they go back to their bread and butter. Jacob into the back of his own offensive lineman.
Well, they got him involved in the pass game for the first time today. Makes a big gain. They want to go right back to him on the run. Doesn't pick up a ton, but, picks up a fair gain, 4 or 5 yards, and it's 2nd and medium now.
Second down and 5. Carter Wren's the lone wideout. Schumacher for Jacob, and he's tripped up. Nice job by Garrett Hebel in on the action. He's been active early.
Yeah, he has. That's a really nice job by Hebel. That's a couple times you've said his name defensively, coming in to make a tackle on Jacob. They're playing the run heavy, and it's worked out pretty well so far for him today.
It'll be 3rd down and 4 from the 31-yard line. Trey Jacob will take a rare breather.
Yeah, they've kept him busy. Often in this game is a lot of run plays to Jacob. He's going to get a breather here for a play or two. See if they might go to the air now with him out of the game.
3rd and 4, 3 receivers. Dean Vetter, the fullback, sidecar right. Schumacher rolls out to his right, fires one, and he's got his man for the 1st down and then some. That's actually Trace King, the backup quarterback, makes the reception.
That is not an easy play for King to make. Good throw here from Schumacher. King extends the arms, makes the catch, picks up the 1st down. Awesome job by King to come into the game, make that catch.
12-yard pickup. The Lions back in the red zone for the 2nd time today. This is just their 2nd offensive drive. Scored a touchdown on their 1st. From the 19. It's Jacob. Bounces off a couple of tackles. Makes his way close to the 15.
It's a nice run there by Jacob. He displays a good amount of patience on that run that time, because there wasn't really a hole that opened up at all during the beginning of that run. Picks up a few yards after dancing around the backfield. Sets up 2nd and 7.
Schumacher for Jacob again. Good block from his fullback, Dean Vetter. Gets out towards the sideline before being chased down by Brett Wendell. Big 3rd down coming up for Linton HMB.
Yeah, get him a few more yards out of Jacob, who extends it. We've seen a lot of running between the tackles from him in this game. He gets to the edge window with a nice chase down, but it's 3rd down and 1. Got about 5 or 6 yards on that attempt from Jacob to set up 3rd and short.
3rd and 1 from the 10-yard line. Schumacher keeps it himself, lunges forward, and he gets past the chains.
I like that play call. They hurry up to the line. They don't waste any time while they're set at the line. Immediately a quick snap to the quarterback, and Schumacher picks up the 1st down, and it's 1st and goal.
1st down and goal for Linton HMB, a drive that started on their own 6-yard line. They're now down to the Lobos 7. I formation as they've done for most of the afternoon. Jacob is wrapped up in the backfield. Big stop there from Lamoure Litchfield Marion, trying to make a big goal line stand of their own here.
Yeah, it was an awesome job by the defense of Lamoure to get the penetration into the backfield, make the play on Jacob.
It's a 1-yard loss for Trey Jacob. A lot of time coming off the clock here in the 2nd quarter. Over halfway through, Linton started the 2nd quarter with the football. Schumacher, play action, rolling. Looking, he's in trouble. Able to get past a couple of black jerseys and make something out of nothing.
Really nice job by Lamoure's pursuit to the ball that time. Schumacher, when he rolls out, he's got so much speed that he can usually turn the corner and pick up some yards with his feet, but couldn't that time because of the great job by Lamoure's defense to lock in on him. Like you said, he made a couple defenders miss, but still a short gain, and that's it for Schumacher.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the 7. Lions with a chance to make it a 2-possession ball game. In the shotgun, Schumacher. He's got time. End zone. Nearly caught, but Landon Bush can't hold on. It was good coverage from Lamoure Litchfield Marion.
Yeah, that was great job that time, knocking the pass away. There's a lot of time for Schumacher to throw there, but couldn't come away with the catch in the end zone. Great defense.
So 4th down and goal from the 7-yard line. This drive started for the Lions on their own 6, and they're going to give it a try here on 4th down and goal from the 7.
I like this call for Linton.
Schumacher rolling under pressure, lobs to the back of the end zone. Caught! Oh my! Caught in the back of the end zone by Landon Bush. What a play!
That is an awesome job by Schumacher to extend the play. You're going to see him roll out, gets out of the pocket, has nobody open to start, waits, thinks he has Bush in the back of the end zone, and he does, and Bush has to make that catch through 2 defenders. That is a fantastic job of focusing by Bush and hauling in a difficult pass.
He was knocked over by Colton Ness and under duress by Andrew Hoff, and still found a way to complete the catch. A 7-yard score on 4th down and goal, a 94-yard touchdown drive. The Lions looking for 2 more. Schumacher and Bush one more time. Linton HMB, the underdogs, lead by 10 with 4:46 to go in the first half.
This presentation on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Farmers Union Insurance, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Beck Communications Cooperative, DRN.
Well, first on 4th down and goal from the 7, Lucas Schumacher had to get rid of it. Landon Bush with 2 black jerseys around him. It didn't matter to go up 8, and then why not one more time? They find Landon Bush for the 2-point conversion. Linton HMB by 10. David Sugarman alongside Noah Reed, along with our fantastic Beck Sports Plus crew here today. Director Jesse Schwab back, Director Jordan Lowry back in the studio, camera operator Jesse Schwab on site here in Lamoure. And Noah, as you take a look at that last drive, not just ending it with a touchdown, but that's exactly what Linton HMB wants to do. Head coach Tanner Purrington told us this week that they wanted to emphasize slowing down this game as much as possible. Started that drive late in the first quarter, ended it over 7 minutes as Tate Mart, he touches it and then just corrals it back towards himself.
Yeah, to touch on that point, David, they took about 8 minutes off the clock. The drive started at the end of the first quarter, and with 4:45 right now to go in the second quarter is when Lamoure finally gets the football back. A good amount of run. They threw it a couple times, including that touchdown pass to Bush in the back of the end zone, but they had to go 96 yards, and they took almost 8 minutes off the clock. That is what a perfect drive looks like today for this Linton HMB team.
So now the Lobos will try and respond from their own 23-yard line. Potts for Wendell. Picks up a couple of yards on the tote, and for Lamoure Litchfield Marion offensively, it's been an uncharacteristically up and down day. They opened the game with a first down followed by a punt. They score a touchdown on their next drive, and then the drive to follow, a fumble inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest start for this offense that's been so prolific all season long. They scored just about 50 points almost every single time out this season. Linton HMB's defense deserves a lot of that credit today.
Potts rolling out, and he has Garrett Hebel, and Trey Jacob twists him to the turf.
Well, that's a good job. Off the play action, they've noticed that the run game hasn't been great today. Wendell's been fine. It's not that he's been bad, but they haven't picked up a ton of yards on the ground, so they want to try to get the play action pass going, and maybe that opens the run up a little bit more throughout the day.
11-yard pitch and catch that time between Potts and Hebel. Hebel with the one touchdown today so far for Lamoure Litchfield Marion. That's his second catch. Into the gut of Wendell one more time. Dragon white jerseys. Vetter had a hard time bringing him down out past the 40-yard line for a good play on first down.
This feels like a really important drive here for Lamoure. They started with the football, so with only 3:30 to go before halftime, Linton HMB gets the football back to start the third. If the defense can hold them here and go up by 10 at halftime and then get the football back, they've got a chance to really deliver a blow early in the third quarter. Lamoure needs some points here.
Lions trying to get back to the Dakota Bowl for the first time since 2011. Lobos for the first time since 2003 as Potts, with his first incompletion of the day, overshoots Hebel. It'll be 3rd down and 7 from the 40. Like you mentioned, this is a critical drive. You don't want to give the ball back to this Lions team with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go and all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that part of it, but if they don't pick up a first down, they have to punt it, and Linton could score again before halftime.
Potts on the move again. Finds Hebel, this time enough for the first down past midfield.
Hebel's been the go-to guy in the pass game. He said he's had the touchdown like you alluded to just a little bit ago, but it seems like more times than not when they're going to the air, they're looking to get Hebel involved. A big catch there for the first down conversion to keep the drive going.
Hebel with 14 catches coming into the day. Hadn't had a receiving touchdown on the season. Today he's got 3 catches for 27 yards and a score. Into plus territory at the 49. Potts, lobs one deep, Bowman, and he's got nobody in front of him. Lobos back in business. Charlie Bowman, for the 9th time this season, finds the end zone. 49-yard hookup.
Well, right over the seam. There's just nobody there for Bowman. Look at that. All that space between him and any white jerseys. That's as easy of a touchdown as Lamoure will score all season long.
Potts moving to his right, looks towards the end zone, and he has Colton Ness for the conversion. And just like that, they're going to say Ness did not get in. We'll take a break.
Beck Communications is honored to be recently recognized with 3 Broadband Now awards. Beck Communications Cooperative was awarded in the categories of Top Internet Speeds Nationwide, Top 3 Fastest Internet Providers in North Dakota, and North Dakota's #1 fastest fiber provider. It's only through the support of our members and customers that Beck Fiber delivers award-winning speeds and service. Thank you, Beck Communications Cooperative members and customers, for your years of continued support.
Lobos back in business with a 49-yard hookup. Corbin Potts to Charlie Bowman, and Bowman active early on. 3 catches for 105 yards. He has been a big play threat from the jump today.
Yeah, that's a really nice job to get him involved right up the middle. There was nobody defending him. Makes the catch, gets the touchdown, and that's a big score for Lamoure here late in the first half.
3:01 to go. Linton HMB getting the football back. They'll have all 3 timeouts left, and it'll be interesting to see their philosophy. They've wanted to really run as much clock as possible here. Haven't really seen them in a hurry-up mode yet.
Yeah, and with 3:01 to go, I still think they have plenty of time to run the football. I mean, they've still got all 3 of their timeouts here as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the ground, because last thing they want to do is give up the football to Lamoure with maybe a couple minutes left and an opportunity for them to score again. So I think run game's got to continue here for Linton, especially the first couple plays of the drive.
And kick goes out of bounds, so it's a flag, and it'll be good starting field position for Linton HMB. They've only had the ball 2 times today, but touchdowns on both occasions. A 62-yard drive to open the game, and then after forcing and recovering a fumble, a 94-yard drive for a score their last time with the football. Lobos didn't take nearly as much time when they got it back. Less than 2-minute drive that ended in that 49-yard score. Ended up going 77 yards. And now, from their own 35-yard line, Schumacher in the shotgun. Time to throw towards the sideline. He's got Landon Bush.
Well, it's a good short pass that time to Bush, picks up a few yards, and a really nice job to establish the pass. They've been going to that a little bit more as of late. They started heavy amount of run, but now you're seeing Schumacher drop back and throw the football a little bit more.
Beg your pardon, that was Grant Bush on the catch. His second of the day. Schumacher keeps the pigskin himself. He's got room up the sideline. Vetter leading the way. And he scoots out of bounds. And Dean Vetter, his fullback, made that an easy path down the sideline there.
Yeah, this is awesome. A great job, you said it. Vetter out there, 25, makes a big block. That springs him loose, and Schumacher's able to go out of bounds. That's a smart play to stop the clock and make sure you don't take a hit.
A 25-yard pickup for Schumacher. He's got 5 carries for 45 yards so far today. Lions are taking their time right now, but they've got all 3 timeouts still remaining. 2:18 to go. And Tanner Pernton rips off the headset. I don't think he's happy about it, but he is going to use his first timeout of the half. We'll take it with him. Lions use their first timeout of the half. 2:18 to play. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35. Schumacher for Jacob. No, he's going to keep it himself this time. Dances out of a tackle, and a nice job getting out of bounds. Tanner Purrington wasn't happy that he had to use that last time out. Important for Schumacher to conserve some clock right here.
Yeah, that was a good job there and a good read, too, from Schumacher. He had the option of handing it off to Jacob. Instead, he realized the defense was swarming more towards the inside. He was able to bounce out, pick up a few yards, and again, like we said just a couple plays ago, he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
2nd down and 5 from the 30. Third line drive, looking for their 3rd touchdown of the first half. They get the football back in the 3rd to start the 3rd quarter. Schumacher scurries out of the middle and picks up enough for a 1st down.
Well, they've kept it on the ground more as of late, but it's been less Trey Jacob, who was so efficient running the football earlier, and now they're going with Schumacher, and I think the reason is because he's got the option. He can rather run or pass. He sees that time that there's a wide open run in front of him, picks up a few good yards and a 1st down on the quarterback draw.
1st and 10 from the 20, back into the red zone for the 3rd time today. Jacob up the middle. Jukes out of a tackle. Jacob towards the end zone. Not quite there, but Trey Jacob. His head coach described him as slithery during the week.
And look at this juke move. That's slithery if I've ever seen it. He starts up the middle, looks like he's going to get tackled. Boom, pumps the brakes, sidesteps, and then picks up a lot of yards to the outside.
An 18-yard pickup. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 2. They've been down here twice. The first time, Dean Vedder, the fullback, a 2-yard score. 2nd touchdown, a 7-yard throw on a 4th down and goal to Landon Bush. And the Lions running that clock down right now. They want to make sure Lamoure Litchfield Marion doesn't get the football back because they can score in a hurry.
Yeah, it's a smart play. Now you're not so much wanting to conserve clock, you're wanting to let it run down a little bit before calling a timeout.
Lions take their 2nd time out of the half with 55 seconds to go. We'll come back after this.
Founded in 1950 as Dickey Rural Telephone, DRN has a lot to celebrate in our 70 years. Our services have changed, but one thing hasn't: our commitment to our members to furnish high-quality communications. DRN ReadyTech is 60 full-time employees, 4,600 miles of fiber, serving 7,600 access lines and 7,000 internet customers in 32 exchanges. We are proud to be the telecommunications cooperative in southeastern North Dakota for the past 70 years and into the future.
Trey Jacob owns the Linton HMB single-season rushing record, and with runs like this, it's easy to see why. 18 yards and making Charlie Bowman almost fall to the turf on the juke move. An 18-yard pickup from the 20, and now a golden opportunity for Linton HMB. 1st and goal from the 2, 55 seconds to go in the half. They already have a 2-point cushion, and they'll get the football back to start the 3rd.
Yeah, this is a must score here at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal to pad onto that lead before the break.
Schumacher keeps it himself, reaches to the goal line, into the end zone. Schumacher calls his own number, and the Lions take command.
Great play call. You keep it in the hands of your All-State quarterback in Lucas Schumacher from 2 yards out. He follows the block in front of him. Great job from the offensive line to allow that space for Schumacher.
His 10th rushing touchdown of the season, and now number 10 in the shotgun, looking for 2 more. Schumacher rolls right, breaks out of a tackle. He'll just go to the pylon himself, and he's in. Lucas Schumacher calls his number on back-to-back occasions, and it works out on both of them. Lions take a double-digit lead, 52 seconds to go in the half.
This presentation on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Farmers Union Insurance, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Beck Communications Cooperative, DRN.
Well, 52 seconds to go in the half. Linton HMB over Lamoure Litchfield Marion right now, 24-14. But we saw on the last drive, Lamoure Litchfield Marion doesn't need much time to score the football. They have 52 seconds. They have 2 timeouts. That's plenty of time for this offense to operate.
Yeah, especially the way that Corbin Potts has started to throw the football again, especially in the second quarter. They were all ground game early. It wasn't really effective for them. They've opened it up, balanced it a bit more. Potts moved the ball down the field. Their last touchdown drive with ease. It took less than 2 minutes off the clock. They've only got 52 seconds here, but like you said, 52 seconds and 2 timeouts is certainly doable.
Dean Vetter in to kick the football away. Tate Mart back standing at his own 20-yard line. Squib kick takes a bounce. That may have touched a Lobo, and Colton Ness will slide on it for good measure. Tough to see if a black jersey touched that, but heads-up play by Colton Ness to not take any chances.
Yeah, and you got to cover it up too, because it goes 10 yards. That's considered, an opportunity for Linton HMB to slide on the football and recover it. So Ness falls on it there, recovers the football for Lamoure. 50 seconds left. It'll be interesting to see how they play it. Do they go ground and stay conservative, or with the 2 timeouts, do they try to score here before halftime?
Their last drive, a 77-yard score. 77-yard touchdown drive, I should say, ending with a 49-yard touchdown pass to Charlie Bowman. Potts, short throw this time around for Garrett Hebel, falls incomplete. So maybe with a play call like that, do you just try and get yourself to midfield and give Potts with some good arm strength a chance to take a shot?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what they're going to do here, right? They're going to try and get some short passes, get anything they can out towards the sideline to get out of bounds. They've still got the 2 timeouts, but if they can get out of bounds and not have to call a timeout and preserve them for as long as they can, that's important. But like you said, there's a lot of arm strength for Potts to be able to throw it.
It's only Potts' second incompletion of the half. He's 7 for 9 with 2 touchdowns. Flushed out of the pocket. Towards the chains, he has Colton Ness, and Ness wisely gets out of bounds at the 40.
Yeah, that's a smart play there by Colton Ness. He catches his football. You'll see after Potts is running towards his right and makes the throw, being flushed out of the pocket, he catches and turns towards the inside, but then says, you know what, I better just get out of bounds. I don't need to worry about extra yardage. We want to stop the clock.
Ness, who's had 5 multi-touchdown games this season, been held in check up to this point. 2 catches for 37 yards. Potts aims an arrow over the middle. Bowman wrapped up immediately by Schumacher, but the Lobos are in plus territory.
And the clock stopped for a moment while they set the ball down here on the first down.
30 seconds to play in the half, spiked down by Potts. And now it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 39. Still have those 2 timeouts. A lot of options right now for Lamoure Litchfield Marion.
Yeah, first off, a good pass over the middle to Bowman, who just scored that touchdown last drive for Lamoure. But this is right where you wanted the ball, right? You said get it around midfield, and then you've got a couple opportunities for Potts with his arm strength to throw the football. They've already got it inside the 50 with still 29 seconds to go before the break.
And it's been an excellent half for Charlie Bowman. 4 catches for 120 yards and a touchdown. Over the middle, they look for Bowman one more time, and it's a flag on the play. Looked like Trey Jacob got a lot of jersey on that one.
Yeah, he just got there a little early. I mean, he was there. He had some good defense on Bowman, but when you get there this early, the flag's going to come out every time. He had his left arm wrapped around the body of Bowman, and that'll be a pass interference every time.
Still waiting for the official call from the officials, although it doesn't seem like it's in much doubt. They're just discussing, I think, what number it was on. Should be number 30, Trey Jacob. Regardless here,
I think what they're determining where the football was, because they've got to go 15 yards on the pass interference. They weren't sure if the ball was at the 47 or the 48, I think. Weren't they on the other side of midfield?
Yeah, I believe they were, and they just said that they're going from the Lobos 48.
Yeah. I mean, they still pick up yardage, but I don't think it's as much as it should have been. I think it was more of a 10-yard penalty instead of a 15.
It does seem like they moved a few yards, but you see the snap there is clearly
across midfield.
Across midfield. So I think a costly mistake there. Regardless, 1st and 10 now from the 37. Down the sideline, little out, too far out for Colton Ness. And I'm surprised that Lamoure Litchfield Marion didn't contest that at all. Maybe it was just moving a little bit too quick, but regardless, it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 37, 22 seconds to go. And you can still go down the middle of the field here with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, you still got both the timeouts. You haven't had to use any of them yet on this drive. You've done a nice job of spiking the ball and getting out of bounds. So see if they can continue to do that.
From the 37, quick throw, batted at the line. Ness still comes away with it. And then he's got some room to run, breaks out of a tackle and gets out of bounds. The fortuitous bounce for Colton Ness. Landon Bush got his paws on it, did exactly what he was supposed to do. Right place, right time for the Lobos. It's a 20-yard pickup on the deflection.
Yeah, that's all that it is, David. Right place, right time for Ness. Batted up in the air, it falls right into his lap, and then Ness does the rest, picking up a few yards after the catch.
It's still 2 timeouts for Lamoure. Potts, end zone, Ness! Yes! Down at the 1. Ness not quite into the end zone. With 9 seconds to go, Colton Ness reached out, not quite there. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 1. Ball's loose. No word yet. There may have been a timeout before the play. Well, the Lobos recovered the football. No! Linton HMB falls on the football. You see the football loose there at the bottom of the pile. It is tough to say.
I think they're saying it's still Lamoure football. He pointed the other way as a timeout, I think. I'm pretty sure he used 2 hands. I think he said timeout Lamoure to stop the clock there. I'm almost certain it's still Lamoure football.
Well, we'll keep it right here with 7 seconds left in the half, and I think you might be right on that. And exactly that. So a break for Lamoure. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Garrett Hebel and Brett Wendell both behind quarterback Corbin Potts. And Lamoure Litchfield Marion still has a timeout. Time for maybe 2 plays. Potts, keeper, into the end zone. They get the ball back with just 52 seconds. They go 75 yards, and they're back within 4, maybe more.
Well, 2nd consecutive play, they just go Potts, the quarterback, with the sneak from 1 yard out. It works this time to get the touchdown. They got a chance to pull within 2.
Potts, just his 2nd carry of the day, in for the touchdown. Now trying to cut the lead in half. Rolling right back of the end zone, Colton Ness with the easy snag. 2 seconds to go in the half. Lobos within 2.
Everybody needs an off-season, but our announcers have a tough time slowing down.
Incredible! For the 2nd time today, Brent has jammed the printer.
Really tough time.
He swiftly brings it down the lane, and he carries it down the stairway. And he finishes with a slam.
Well, first, going deep down the right side, Colton Ness came alive with a couple of big catches on that drive, got him down to the 1 yard line. They recovered a Ness fumble, and then a couple plays later, It was Potts into the end zone on the ground for the first time today. It's been a great half for Corbin Potts. 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground, and he's got his team back within 2. Just 2 seconds left on this kickoff. Trace King will take it. Takes it out to about the 30-yard line, pushing forward a little bit, but that will bring the first half to a close, and it was a good one. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun final 2 quarters here on Beck Sports Plus West. At the half of the 9-man semifinals, Linton HMB 24, Lamoure Litchfield Marion 22.
This is the Farmers Union Insurance Halftime Report. For all your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union insurance agent or go to www.fumic.com.
From Lamoure on the Farmers Union Insurance Halftime Report, Linton HMB leading 24-22. It started off with a 2-yard Dean Vetter score into the end zone to get the Lions going. And offensively, Noah, they haven't really slowed down to 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they did a really nice job. I mean, they moved the football well. They had that long drive to score some points on the second drive. They took a lot of time off the clock. Lamoure answered back here, a really nice job of scoring a touchdown after they struggled early in the game. It's just kind of been back and forth. Every time one team scores, the other has an answer back right away.
A game changer right there. Fumble by Brett Wendell. Linton HMB recovered on their own 6-yard line. Went all the way downfield on a 94-yard touchdown drive. That was, before that fumble, they got the ball back after their first score on what seemed like an accidental onside kick, but it worked out for the Lobos, ends up working out in the long run for the Lions. They score on this drive right here, Lucas Schumacher. What a catch by Landon Bush in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that's such a tough play to make through 2 defenders, including Colton Ness just trying to swipe that ball away from him. Then the very next play on the 2-point conversion, it's Bush once again. He did a fantastic job on that drive, a couple catches, a couple big ones for points as well. Lamoure then moved the football down the field, and they took less than 2 minutes off the clock here. Bowman from 49 yards out, and it's been within a possession pretty much the entire game so far.
A big half for Charlie Bowman, 4 catches for 120 yards and a touchdown. Then they went to Colton Ness for for the 2-point conversion. He hasn't gotten into the end zone yet, but he's been great. 4 catches, as we see Linton HMB punch it back into the end zone there. Then they hand it off to Trey Jacob, who's been fantastic today. Hasn't found the end zone yet, but 17 carries, 84 yards, and expect him to really carry the load as the Lions try and run some clock in the second half.
Yeah, that was a big one to get them close to the end zone. Then they scored. Lamoure goes down the field. They fumble the football there. Lucky to come away with it at the 1-yard line to give themselves another chance. They get deep down the field. That's Ness right there with the catch to set them on the doorstep. He couldn't quite get in, but it got him down to the 1-yard line, and then they're able to score a couple plays later by Ness going in, and this happened with just 2 seconds on the clock to make it a 2-point game instead of a 10-point game at the break.
Linton HMB gets the football coming out of the half, but they made things clear. They don't really want to make this game a track meet. Right now, the winner is probably on pace to be in the high 40s, 50 points. What do you see out of this second half?
Well, it could be a lot worse for Linton HMB. I mean, obviously, they're
in the lead.
They're up right now, but you're right. They don't want to play a high up-tempo game that it ends up being in the 50s, but you got to remember, Lamoure's a team that scored 73 times this year, so holding them to 22, that's pretty crucial right now, and let's not forget Linton HMB can score points on their end, too. They're a very good offensive team. They just want to slow it down a little bit because of the prolific offense Lamoure has.
Lions had 3 drives in that first half. They all went for touchdowns, but the number 1 team in 9-man, Lamoure Litchfield Marion, trying to punch their ticket to the Dakota Bowl for the first time since 2003. Going to be a fun finish here on Beck Sports Plus West. Don't you go anywhere. It's the Lions and the Lobos.
This is the Farmers Union Insurance Halftime Report. For all your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union insurance agent or go to www.fumic.com.
Welcome back on the Farmers Union Insurance Halftime Report. Buying insurance should be about more about getting it right than doing it fast. Farmers Union Insurance is simply different. David Sugarman alongside Noah Reed here for Beck Sports Plus. As we inch closer to the third quarter, Linton HMB up 24-22. They'll get the football back. They did a great job following their game plan in that first half offensively. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and they ran the football, took a lot of time off the clock. Lamoure was able to score points, but they really didn't have the football very often. Linton did a great job running the ball, creating time of possession. They did a great job there to keep Lamoure off the field, and they've got the lead here at the halftime.
And you can see easily for both these teams how bad that they want this game. Dakota Bowl trip on the line. Neither of these teams have been there in quite a long time. Linton since 2011, Lamoure since 2003.
Yeah, 2 teams that have been some of the best in 9-man this entire season. They've shown it here today. A Lamoure team that's been undefeated. Linton's only lost twice, and we're going to have a good one here in the second half.
As for the Lobos offense, they put up 22 points in that first half, and that's with their star running back, Brett Wendell, being held largely in check. 13 carries for 37 yards and a lost fumble.
Yeah, and defense did a great job, right? I mean, you got to key in on the run and Wendell, and he did a nice job. The defense did of slowing him down and not letting him break off big runs.
Before we head into the second half, Lobos trailing by 2. What's the biggest key for them to make the comeback and head to the Dakota Bowl next week?
I think they got to have the football a little bit longer, get off the field on third down, not allow Linton HMB to create more third down conversions and stay on the field. If Lamoure can do that defensively, it turns into them getting the football more offensively.
Third quarter on the way, Lions by a deuce.
Today's broadcast in high definition is presented by the following: Finley Engineering. Finley Engineering, integrity into everything. NISC. NISC delivering information technology solutions and services that are member and customer focused, quality driven, and value priced.
Third quarter brought to you in part by Degelman Industries. Degelman Industries, engineered tough. 24-22. Linton leading top-ranked and undefeated Lamoure Litchfield Marion here in this 9-man semifinal matchup here in Lamoure. And the Lions will start the third quarter with the football. They kick it deep to Trace King. From inside his own 20-yard line. Dashes up the middle, out past the 35-yard line. Nice starting field position for the Lions, who had a lot of success offensively in the first half. They took off a lot of clock each time they had the football, and they scored every time. 3 touchdowns on 3 drives.
Yeah, that was their number one key, right, was to get the football and keep the football in their possession as long as they could. They did not want the offense to stay on the field for Lamoure. They did a great job of limiting that, and they've got the lead here to start the third quarter.
In the I formation, they give to Jacob. He had 17 carries in the first half. He sheds a couple tacklers before being wrestled down by Charlie Bowman.
Yeah, he ran the football great. I thought he did a nice job of making defenders miss, and he picked up a couple extra yardages on each play, being able to do that. And they want to keep him running the football because that runs the clock, keeps the Lamoure offense off the field, and because he's also an all-state running back too. Very great season. Linton's record for rushing yards in a season. That's a guy you want to have the football in his hands as much as possible.
His head coach told us he's good. He's good at reading holes. He's tough to bring down. He's super slithery. He's shown it off all today. Now it's Schumacher. Lobs one down the right side. Bush gave it all he had, but it'll be 3rd and long. And you've seen more willingness this week to throw the football with Lucas Schumacher. Obviously, last week the wind made things difficult. Just had 1 completion for -7 yards. In that first half, he was 5 for 7, 62 yards and a touchdown.
I think they can run the football and throw the football equally well. It's just the game script of what they want to do today against Lamoure has made them run it a little bit more. But Lucas Schumacher's a phenomenal quarterback, and if they asked him to go out and throw the ball 30 times today, he could do that.
3rd down and 9. Schumacher will try and get it with his feet. He's down the sideline. Makes Ness miss into plus territory on 3rd down and 9. Schumacher picks up more than enough for the 1st down. He says, forget the arm. I got it with my feet this time.
That's a huge 3rd down conversion on a 3rd and long. Lamoure's defense couldn't get the stop. Schumacher runs into Lamoure territory, a big gain, and just like that, they're already driving here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
20 yards for Schumacher on the carry. They use him just as much in the running game, and 9th-year head coach Andy Delabar for Lamoure said they need to keep him in front and keep contained today, but he's done a nice job rushing the football. Thought about the pass this time. More great blocking from Dean Vetter. Breaks out of a couple of tackles, reaches the football out, and a very late hit by Brett Wendell to drag him out of bounds. And they're going to tack on probably 15 more to the end of this run.
Yeah, that's just something you can't do there if you're Wendell, and maybe he wasn't exactly sure where he was at on the football field, but you see a really good run here from Schumacher. He lets his teammates get out in front and block, and then he jumps his way out of bounds, and look how late Wendell is coming in here. He's out of bounds there, and it took an extra second or two, and Wendell still dragged him down. That is a good call to add on the 15 yards on the penalty.
Yeah, certainly nothing malicious. He grabbed him when he was still in bounds, just didn't have the wherewithal to let go. So after what was going to be just a 10-yard run or so, an extra 15 yards, and for the 4th time today, Lions are into the red zone. They are perfect so far, 3 for 3. Schumacher gives to Jacob. Offensive line makes a nice little hole for him. And on that last Schumacher run, we didn't talk about it because of the penalty. Once again, fullback Dean Vetter has done a great job leading the way for ball carriers today. Lions head coach Tanner Purrington said that midway through the season, the light bulb just kind of clicked for him on both sides of the football.
Yeah, and that's something you love when a guy is willing to go out there and not get as many touches as other guys, but still block for them and make sure that he does a great job in the block game. It's little plays like that. It's role players doing their job that makes good teams great.
2nd and 4 from the 10. Jacob, not much room to work that time. He lunges forward for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and short. And Jacob is slow to get up. And the trainers are going to come out and tend to him. We'll take a break. Lions by 2, knocking on the door. So Trey Jacob able to walk off the field under his own power. That's good to see. But just as we come back, the Lions want to talk things over when we come back. 3rd and 2 from the 8.
This presentation on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Farmers Union Insurance, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Beck Communications Cooperative, DRN.
Coming out of the timeout, 3rd down and 2 from the 8-yard line for Tanner Purrington's club, trying to make it back to the state championship game for the first time since he was their senior quarterback in 2011. The latest senior quarterback is Lucas Schumacher. He's under center. The backup quarterback, Trace King, is the halfback right now. He leads the way for Schumacher, who has nothing working. A bevy of Lobos in there on the stop. And now a crucial 4th down coming up for Linton as Schumacher comes up with a little bit of a limp. And the Lions, who are perfect in the red zone today, 3 for 3. They've yet to be stopped today, period. Will now have 4th and 2 from the 8. Trey Jacob back into the football game. Schumacher keeps it himself. He didn't get enough. Lobos with a huge stop inside the red zone. For the first time today, Lobos defense makes a stand.
That is incredible job on back-to-back plays for Lamoure. The quarterback Schumacher keeps it on 2 straight plays. They shut him down on 3rd down. They go for it on 4th and 2. They shut him down again, and now all the momentum on the side of the Lobos. They scored a touchdown with 2 seconds to go in the second quarter before the break. Now they get a stop in the red zone. The offense comes back out on the field. This is huge.
From their own 7-yard line is where Lamoure Litchfield Marion will set up shop. They hand it off to Brett Wendell, who gets a couple of yards, and some credit to the Lions defense as well. I know they gave up 22 points in that first half, but Brett Wendell didn't do much damage. He's got over 1,700 yards on the season, but so far today, 14 carries for about 40 yards and a lost fumble.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a great job shutting him down, not allowing him to go very far. He averages about 10 yards per touch on the season. He's not getting that today.
Potts pitch to the outside for Wendell. Good block by his receiver, Charlie Bowman. And he gets out near the 1st down marker. And Wendell is slow to get up. And the trainers are going to come out and take a look at him. Brett Wendell not getting up, and he rips the helmet off. We'll hope he's okay, and we'll take a break.
Founded in 1950 as Dickey Rural Telephone, DRN has a lot to celebrate in our 70 years. Our services have changed, but one thing hasn't: our commitment to our members to furnish high-quality communications. DRN ReadyTech is 60 full-time employees, 4,600 miles of fiber, serving 7,600 access lines and 7,000 internet customers in 32 exchanges. We are proud to be the telecommunications cooperative in southeastern North Dakota for the past 70 years and into the future.
Is your business phone system outdated and expensive to maintain? Most large VoIP companies leave you on hold or struggling through online support and training for your employees. With Beck Connect, you always have fast, friendly, local support. Familiar faces with the know-how to keep you connected. Take advantage of the newest technology in voice calling, video conferencing, and virtual meeting rooms. Beck Connect gives you all the features you need with no upfront investment and no obsolete hardware or software ever again. Simplify your communications. Choose local. Choose Beck Connect.
So Brett Wendell, you see there, has a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up, but able to walk off off the field under his own power. But they'll have to run this play without him. 3rd and 2 from the 15. And Potts can't handle the snap, just has to fall on top of it. And now it'll be 4th down. This is not the start to the drive that Lamoure was hoping for.
And you've got no choice but to punt it here. I mean, you're backed up to your own 15-yard line, your own 14-yard line after they lose a yard there. Got to punt it away, and a great job for Linton HMB's defense to get the stop and force a 3-and-out.
And just in case, Lucas Schumacher now just starting to backpedal, but before the snap, there's a flag. Penalty on the Lobos, so they'll have to move back a little bit, and this is a good opportunity for the Lions to pick up some field position.
Yeah, this is big for Linton HMB. Defense gets the stop, then an illegal substitution against Lamoure puts them at their own 9-yard line. Even a good punt, more than likely, Linton HMB starts the football in Lamoure territory.
Anthony Hansen sends it away. It's a nice punt. Falls just shy of midfield. And the Lions will start in Lobos territory. Linton got down inside the 10-yard line, had a couple of chances on 4th and short from the 7, couldn't make it happen, but able to come up with a big stop.
Yep, defense got the job done. When the offense stalled out on the drive late, the defense came in, got the 3-and-out immediately. Starting field position for the offense is back at the Lamoure 49-yard line. So awesome field position, short field to try to add on to this 2-point lead here in the third quarter.
First time Linton today is starting a drive inside Lamoure territory. At the 49-yard line, Trey Jacob, who was hurt on that last drive, still in the football game now. They give it to him. Bounces off a couple of tackles before being spun down by Colton Ness and Corbin Potts. And Trey Jacob has just been such a tough physical runner this afternoon.
He's done this all day long, and it's only 3 yards. It's not like it pops off the stat sheet at you for a big run, but he got stopped at the 50. It should have been a loss of 1. Instead of that second and third effort from Trey Jacob being physical in the run game, he picks up 3 yards instead of losing 1.
20 carries for 105 yards today. 2nd and 7 from the 46. They give it to Jacob again, and they're just going to keep working him. And another short pickup, but on touching on those short pickups, that's another thing. The Lions are content, especially even though the lead is short, to have these short pickups as long as they can keep this clock moving. They want to keep this game closer into the 20s and at this point low 30s, I suppose, rather than get into a track meet with this Lamoure team.
Yeah, absolutely. You're fine picking up 3 or 4 yards every single time. You don't need a whole lot more than that to be able to move the chains on each possession, and they've gotten that out of Jacob today.
It'll be 3rd and 5 from the 44. Need to get to the Lobo 39. Play action fake. Schumacher stops, looks deep, and it's nearly picked off by Corbin Potts. Ball was underthrown, and Potts made a great play on it. Either way, it'll be 4th down and 5.
That could have been a huge opportunity for Lamoure to get some momentum back on their side, to get the energy of their home fans into the game, but knocked it away. And we'll see with Schumacher also being the punter. He'll be on the field no matter what. We'll see if they elect to go for it or punt it. I'd like to see them go for it just because of where they're at on the field in Lamoure territory, and it looks like that's the case.
4th and 5 from the 44. Schumacher back to pass, plenty of time. Down the side, Bush, did he hang on? Oh my! After taking a big lick and being upended, Grant Bush, the sophomore, finds a way to hold on to the football.
This is an unbelievable play by Bush to hold on to the football. Good throw, but he's getting hit as soon as the ball gets there. He gets upended by Potts, and the ability to concentrate, to latch onto that football is huge for Bush for the catch, for the first down. Drive is still going. Linton's got a chance to score points here on this drive.
Bush had 11 catches all season. He's got 3 today. 1st and 10 from the 35 after the 9-yard pickup. Schumacher rolls right, now goes the other way. He's in a lot of trouble, and Lamoure barreling down on him in the backfield.
Yeah, a lot of reason to like that if you're the Lamoure fan base. They do a great job. The defense does, swarming back to him, stopping him, not letting him go anywhere, and it's a loss of about 5 yards.
Lucas Hoff, one of the first Lobos in on that play. It's a 5-yard loss back to the 40.
That's a big play, especially after a huge conversion for Linton HMB on 3rd down and long. Lamoure gets a stop in the backfield.
Coming up on 4:15 to go in this 3rd quarter. They give to Jacob. Slithers his way up the middle and close to the 35-yard line, back to around the original line of scrimmage, but it'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, you're just wanting to get that yardage back that you lost on the previous run play before that. They do that, 5 yards that time for Jacob to make it a 3rd down and 10. It's manageable here. We've seen them on 3rd and long get a couple conversions.
Schumacher so far today, 6 for 10, 71 yards and a score. They're in the I formation with just one receiver. Schumacher, play action fake, looking for Bush, throws across the other way to Jacob. Makes one man miss. And taken down. We saw that a similar screenplay go for big yards the last time around. This time it'll be 4th down.
I like that play call, though, because you've already said by going for it on 4th down in this drive once, you've already shown that you're in 4-down territory. So you're just trying to pick up a few yards here, make this 4th down much more manageable, and they do that here on 4th and 6 instead of 4th and 10. 4 yards, you're fine with that for Linton, knowing that you're going for it on 4th down anyways.
Jacob's 2nd catch of the day, 2 catches for 17 yards, both on pretty much an identical type screenplay. 4th and 6. Lions need to get to the 25. Receivers all set to the top of the screen. Schumacher lofts it down the side. Bush, he can't hang on. Grant Bush, who made a phenomenal catch on a 4th down play earlier in this drive to keep it alive, not this time around.
Hey, we're going to get a look at it here, and just watching it live, I think he probably should have pulled this in. Yeah, Corbin Potts got beat. I mean, the defensive back Corbin Potts, he got beat downfield. Bush got behind him, should have been able to pull that in. Potts and Lamoure lucky that time that the conversion doesn't stand, and Lamoure gets the football back.
Lamoure will start on their own 31. Potts back to pass. Aims an arrow over the middle, and Ness hauls it in. Schumacher was there right as the ball fell into the lap of Colton Ness. Good catch, good tackle.
I've got a suspicion that this guy's going to get the football a lot in this 2nd half. That's their top target, the tight end Colton Ness. He's got the size, he's got the physicality. They like to throw the football. I think Potts is going to be looking for Ness a lot through the air today.
It's his 5th catch for 88 yards so far today. This time they hand it off. Breaking out of a couple of tackles, that's Brady Lettenmeyer. First time we've called his name today. Another effective player for the Lobos. And just to give you an idea of how deep they are, that's his first carry of the day. He has 69 carries for 431 yards on the year and 8 touchdowns. On a lot of teams, he's a starting running back. Today, he's a little bit of an afterthought offensively.
Yeah, I mean, he can run the football really well, as you just mentioned with those numbers, but they've got Brett Wendell, who's been awesome all season long, so he plays more of a backup role more than anything, but he can still run it well.
Lettenmeyer to the 2nd level. He's got nowhere to be. Lettenmeyer into the end zone. For the first time today, Lamoure goes on top. Brady Lettenmeyer for the 9th time this season. An afterthought, you say?
Not on this run. A great job of just bursting through the defense. He gets to the 2nd level and beyond for the touchdown.
A 52-yard score, and Lamoure takes their first lead of the game with 1:35 to go in the 3rd. And Garrett Hebel hauls in the 2-point conversion. Lamoure up by 6.
Founded in 1950 as Dickey Rural Telephone, DRN has a lot to celebrate in our 70 years. Our services have changed, but one thing hasn't: our commitment to our members to furnish high-quality communications. DRN ReadyTech is 60 full-time employees, 4,600 miles of fiber, serving 7,600 access lines and 7,000 internet customers in 32 exchanges. We are proud to be the telecommunications cooperative in southeastern North Dakota for the past 70 years and into the future.
On just his second carry of the day, Brady Lettenmeyer makes it count. The sophomore goes 52 yards into the end zone, and for the first time today, the top-ranked Lobos take the lead here over Linton HMB 30-24. David Sugarman alongside Noah Reed here for what's been a fantastic back-and-forth nine-man football semifinal matchup. And Noah, up to that point, both defenses have really been the story of the third quarter, but Lettenmeyer breaks through for a big play.
Yeah, that was awesome. A backup running back with a huge run to put Lamoure up for the first time today. And right now they've got most of the energy on this game on their side after that big run and a big tackle there in the kickoff coverage.
Return to just shy of the 30-yard line that time from Justin Chosick. Nice job on special teams coverage by Andrew Hoff. So now for the first time today, Linton HMB playing from behind. Down 30-24. They struck first with the first touchdown of the day. They haven't looked back since, but now 90 seconds here to go in the third on their own 29. Schumacher catches the snap with one hand. Out to Bush on the sideline, and he scurries out of bounds. Landon Bush.
That was a good job by Schumacher in this short pass game. Sometimes short passes can just be extension of the run game, and I think that's exactly what the Lions were looking for here. You get good protection. You get your All-State quarterback a couple different options to throw to. He finds Bush breaking towards the sideline, and a good play to pick up 6 yards on the first play of the drive.
And Linton HMB in the first half, 3 drives, all of them touchdowns. Their first 2 drives of the third quarter here both resulted in turnovers on downs. Schumacher breaks out of a couple of tackles. He's down the sideline with a blocker. Plenty of real estate. Lucas Schumacher. We've seen that a couple of times today. He's shifty.
Yeah, it was a really nice job by Schumacher. He could have been taken down right around the line of scrimmage or at least for a short gain, but he's able to squeak by a couple defenders here, and he gets to that outside, turns the corner, gets the first down. Linton's moving the football again inside Lamoure territory. This time they're just hoping the offense doesn't stall out.
25 yards for Lucas Schumacher, 1st and 10 at the 40. Lions back into plus territory. Schumacher all day to throw. Lobs one to the sideline. Bush with an acrobatic effort trying to reach over Lettenmeyer, but it'll fall to the turf.
Yeah, that throw was just a little bit short, and like you said, Bush tried to make a play on it and was really close to actually pulling this in with one hand. You'll see him right here reach over the top of the defender, almost pulls that in somehow, but incomplete, good coverage, 2nd down.
Second and 10 from the 40. Lions in the state semifinals for the 2nd consecutive season, trying to break through this time as Trey Jacobs stumbles his way for a good chunk of yardage. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Yeah, they needed that from Jacob there. After the incompletion set him up 2nd down and long, they get 7 yards out of Jacob that time to get 3rd and short, and they've done a nice job of making sure that they're passing a little bit more with Schumacher, but making sure that they continue to stick to some run game as well.
Need to make it to the 30. Jacob gets all that and then some, breaks through an arm tackle of Colton Ness before being taken down.
And this is what happens when your offense becomes unpredictable. Lamoure for a while was able to key in on the pass more and more in this third quarter, but now they go back to Jacob. Lamoure's defense was playing the pass. Jacob back-to-back runs of about 7 or 8 yards.
Under now 15 seconds to go in this third quarter. 1st down and 10 from the 34. Rather from the 25, excuse me, as Jacob is spun down in the backfield that time. Lane Braun, first time we're saying his name today, and that will bring the third quarter to a close. Lions down by 6, but on the move. Winner to the Dakota Bowl. Well, the Lions are a part of a lot of late-game dramatic finishes. Their last 3 losses, going back to the state semifinals last season against Cavalier, a combined 12 points, including 2 double overtime games. Last year's state semifinals and their second game of this season, a 36-28 loss to Kidder County. Down 30-24 going into the fourth quarter, trying to flip the script, but either way, we're set for a good finish, Noah.
Yeah, we're in a really good game right now, 1-possession game.
Schumacher wants it all and overthrows his target that time. It'll be 3rd down and long upcoming. Was looking for Joe Fody. And on 3rd down and 11, an interesting part of the field, and we've seen the Lions do a good job on 3rd and long situations, set themselves up for 4th and manageables time and time again.
Yeah, you're at the spot in the field right now in Lamoure territory at the 25 that you know it's 4-down territory, so you're not necessarily trying to pick up 11 yards here. You're looking at 5, 6, 7 yards just to make it 4th and short instead of 4th and long.
3rd and 11 from the 25. Schumacher was looking for Bush off the mark.
And that's really the first time that's happened, David. You alluded to it, that they've done a nice job on 3rd down, even if they don't pick up the 3rd down conversion of making it a shorter 4th down. That's the first time we've seen an incomplete pass or no gain at all from Linton HMB trying to get some yardage on 3rd down.
So it'll be 4th down and 11 from the 25. $11:51 to go in this fourth quarter. Linton scored on all 3 of their first half drives. This is their 3rd drive of the second half. They've had 2 turnover on downs. Schumacher pumps, goes deep. Bush, yes! Landon Bush ties this thing up at 30, and the Lions have a chance to go back on top. 25 yards. Schumacher and Bush make it happen for the 2nd time today.
Look at that, pump fake and then goes deep. Defense bites on the pump fake, and a spectacular catch from Bush, climbing the ladder there to tie this football game up, and they're a 2-point conversion away from regaining the lead, excuse me.
3 catches for Bush today. That's the 2nd touchdown of the afternoon for him. Schumacher out towards the right side, goes back towards the middle, and that looks like one of his linemen holds it in. Nathan Schatz, the right guard, puts the Lions up by 2. Tanner Purrington into his bag of tricks.
Rush hour traffic in North Dakota, it's almost unheard of, Noah.
I'm speechless. It's something you just don't see around here, especially at this hour of the day.
Brian, can you say anything from your perspective?
Guys, I can. All of this traffic is because some doofus drove off the road. Doofus?
Well, let's hope you can help him out of there.
No.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
All right, great job.
Yeah, that went very well.
On 4th and 11, Lucas Schumacher, the senior, cool as can be as he throws a 25-yard strike to Landon Bush, his 2nd touchdown so far today. And then how about a little bit of trickery? Nathan Schatz, he's a 245 right guard. He probably doesn't get his number called that much, but here in the state semifinals, he just gave the Lions a 2-point lead.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you're in the playoffs and the semifinals, a trip to the Dakota Bowl on the line. If there's ever a time to pull out some trickery and throw a pass to your lineman, it's right now to get the 2 points, to take the lead, and you got a chance to knock off the #1 team in the state at their place here at the start of the fourth quarter to head to the state championship. Awesome play call by Purrington.
The Lions haven't been back to the state championship since 2011. Second-year head coach Tanner Purrington was the senior quarterback of that team as it takes a bounce past Tate Mart. He picks it up, makes a couple of white jerseys miss before he spun down. Gets out past the 20-yard line, and as big as a play as that was for Linton HMB, Lamoure Litchfield Marion offensively has really found a groove.
Yeah, they have, and they struggled early on in the football game, had trouble. The first drive of the game for them, they didn't have anything going. Second time they got the football, they fumbled it, and so they struggled early on in the game, but Corbin Potts and this offense, like you said, they found a rhythm. They've been able to move the football down with relative ease.
And Brett Wendell, since going out with that injury, is still out of the football game. Brady Lettenmeyer is in. Picks up a few yards on the toss right there. So Wendell, who has almost 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns on the season, has yet to return. Brady Lettenmeyer, that was his third carry. He does have a 52-yard touchdown, and we talked about when he came into the game, he's extremely capable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to have Lettenmeyer come in and be your backup, and when you've got a great running back like Wendell go out, not every team has the capability to replace him with somebody like Lettenmeyer. Huge run for the touchdown, and they feel comfortable with him in the game.
The sophomore, this time they fake it to him. Over the middle, it's batted up in the air. Nearly a turnover that time around. It was a great job by Derek Vetter to get one of his paws on the football. And boy, if you're a Lamoure fan, this ball felt like it hung for an eternity.
Yeah, this ended up being dangerous. A great job to tip that ball up in the air, and then there was about 3 white jerseys who all kind of collapsed in on that and had a chance at the football. Nobody comes away with it, and Lamoure feels fortunate to keep the football right now on 3rd down.
3rd and 9. Need to make it to the 32. Potts and Bowman, a little bit behind him, couldn't hang on. Charlie Bowman, who's been fantastic today, 4 catches for 120 yards, but all of that damage in the first half.
Yeah, and he can't pull this in here. It's a good pass from Potts. It's a 3 and out. Linton HMB has to force Lamoure's punt unit to come onto the field. And now if you're Linton HMB, you're looking at the clock, 10:51 to go. You had an 8-minute drive earlier in this thing. Let's see if you can do something similar to that.
Anthony Hansen boots it, takes a short roll into Linton HMB territory at about the 49-yard line, and that's where the Lions will start. And like you mentioned, this is a team that prides themselves on running the football. Even though Lucas Schumacher has made some big throws here late now, nursing a short lead, you know that they're going to try and run Trey Jacob an awful lot.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to abandon the pass game because it's worked for you in this second half, but you're also cognizant of, hey, there's 10:44 to go in the game. We've got the football. We've got an all-state running back in Trey Jacob. Let's feed him the football often.
Jacob in the eye. They put it in his gut, breaks a couple of tackles into plus territory for about a 6-yard pickup. Trey Jacob over the century mark today.
And like I said, you're not trying to stall completely. You know there's plenty of football left, and you don't want to go away from what's worked for you. But at the same time, if I'm Linton HMB, I've got no problem running this play clock down from 40 seconds down to 0 before I snap it just about every single time. The longer you keep that Lamoure offense off the field, the better shape you're in.
2nd and 4 from the 45. They hand it off to Jacob again. He's flipped over short of the marker. And it's an interesting scenario for this Lamoure Litchfield Marion team. They're 9-0. The closest game they've had all year long is still a 30-point win. So they are not really in an awful lot of close contests like this.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because playing in close games is something Linton has done this season, and when you've played in these games versus when you haven't, the team that has had the experience in these kind of games usually wins out.
3rd and 1 from the 42. Can the Lobos make a stand? Schumacher, second effort. And it should be enough for the first down. Lucas Schumacher, the senior, has shown some grit here in this 4th quarter, making tough throws and making the extra effort to pick up the first down.
David, you said it, second effort. Look at that. He was stood up right there. That wouldn't have been enough, but the lunge and the reaching the ball out just shy of the 40-yard line is just enough to pick up the first down.
Tanner Pernson said he's one of the leaders of this team, and he's shown why here today. Done it with his arm and his legs and certainly his heart here late. Schumacher out towards the near side, picks up a couple of yards there.
And importantly, he stays inbounds. He probably could have picked up a couple extra yards if he would have gone out of bounds that time, but instead he kind of dives down. He's, maybe a yard or two short of where he could have been, but they say we'll keep the clock running instead of going out of bounds.
Under 9 minutes to go right now. Linton HMB with 2 timeouts, Lamoure with all 3 of theirs. Still plenty of time left in this football game. Handoff for Jacob. And Jacob just plows ahead. You see Nathan Schatz doing a good job of just pushing his running back into a couple of black jerseys and just keeps on moving them. The offensive line play for both teams, but particularly for Linton, has been fantastic today.
A couple good minutes here from Schatz. He had the catch on the 2-point conversion to put them in the lead, and you're right, he was the one that led the charge on that block and allowed a few yards there for Trey Jacob to pick up and set up 3rd and short.
3rd and 2. Lions need to get to the 31. Jacob one more time. Spins away from Ness, and he picks up the 1st down. He is so hard to bring down. The 2019 All-Region performer. Tanner Purrington said he's emerged as one of the leaders for us this season, and plays like that show why. Picked up another tough couple of yards.
That is a huge play, and this is exactly how you draw up this drive if you're Linton HMB. You give the football to Trey Jacob over and over and over again, and he's averaging about 3 or 4 yards per touch. That's enough to pick up a 1st down every time.
1st down and 10 from the 27. This time it's Dean Vetter, and nothing working there, and you can tell Lucas Schumacher a little frustrated. Looked like there was some trouble on the exchange.
Yeah, they don't really pick up a whole lot of yardage. I don't know if Schumacher thought that Vetter should have hit a different hole. Maybe that was a little more open that time, but either way, they pick up maybe a yard and sets up 2nd down and short. Yeah, and I think he's a little upset that Vetter ran to the outside. If he runs back up to the middle a little bit, he probably picks up a couple of yards, but he makes the decision to run to the outside, and that's right where the defender was for Lamoure.
So back to the line of scrimmage for Vetter. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Play action fake, and Schumacher's just going to keep it himself. And Bowman with a nice ankle tackle to wrap him up, and it's going to be a crucial 3rd down here for the Lamoure defense.
If they don't get him there, then I think Schumacher might be off to the races and finding himself in the end zone, but instead they make a great open field tackle. It's a 3rd down and still a pretty decent distance to go. They've set themselves up for a lot of 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3s on this drive. This time not so much. I think you're looking at about 3rd and 7.
The last play from the 25-yard line was on a 4th and 11. Schumacher to Landon Bush to the end zone. Now it's a 3rd and 8 from the 25. Schumacher, play action fake, lobs it over for Vetter, and he's taken down by Potts. It was a good play design, but a great tackle out in the open space by the quarterback, Corbin Potts. And now 4th down. Got to imagine the Lions go for it here.
Yeah, and that's why you run a play like that. You're not running a route to pick up 7 or 8 yards like you maybe would if this ball was at midfield or in your own territory. You're deep. You're almost to the 20-yard line. You pick up a few yards, and now you make this a 4th down and short.
It'll be 4th and 4 from the 22. Linton needs to make it to the 18. 2 wide receivers to either side. Schumacher pumps, looks end zone again. Bush, one more time. Landon Bush goes for the hat trick. 18 yards, Landon Bush for the 3rd time today, and the Lions have a chance to make it a double-digit lead. Linton HMB with huge conversions on 4th down on back-to-back drives, and both times Lucas Schumacher looks for the sophomore Landon Bush. He had 4 touchdowns all season. He has 3 today, 2 in the 4th quarter alone.
And this is huge right here. The 2-point conversion puts you up 2 possessions if you can get it.
And a flag before the snap. And it's a false start, and that's costly. Like you mentioned, a conversion makes it a 2-possession game. Otherwise, a Lamoure offense, which is still so potent and has plenty of time, only has to come down and get 1 touchdown, 1 conversion to tie this football game up.
Yeah, if you hold them here, you're still in this thing. I mean, you're in it no matter what, but then if you're down 2 possessions with 5:09 to go, that makes things a lot more difficult. Whereas if you can get this stop, then you do a great job of keeping within a score and you put your offense back out on the field.
So after moving back off the penalty, From the 10, they'll try for the 2-point conversion. Schumacher has Dean Vetter, the fullback, on his right side. Trace King, the backup quarterback, is in the slot. Schumacher rolls right, throws back the other way. Bush again. He hauls it in, and he's in. Lions go back up by 10. They're in the driver's seat with 5:11 to go. Trip to Dakota Bowl on the line.
Beck Communications is honored to be recently recognized with 3 Broadband Now awards. Beck Communications Cooperative was awarded in the categories of Top Internet Speeds Nationwide, Top 3 Fastest Internet Providers in North Dakota, and North Dakota's #1 fastest fiber provider. It's only through the support of our members and customers that Beck Fiber delivers award-winning speeds and service. Thank you, Beck Communications Cooperative members and customers, for your years of continued support.
Landon Bush, what else can you say about him? On back-to-back drives, touchdown catches on 4th down, and then on the 2-point conversion after moving back on the false start, he finds a way to catch this under duress and make the grab. Landon Bush has been fantastic today. The sophomore only had 9 catches and 4 touchdowns on the season coming into the day. He's got 3 scores, and now Linton HMB up 10, 5:11 away from going to the state championship.
He's been amazing today. I mean, he has done everything. He's made catch after catch, difficult play after difficult play, and he's got his team up 2 possessions right now with just over 5 minutes to go.
Linton HMB with the kick, and not the way they wanted to start, goes out of bounds. So good starting field position for Lamoure.
Yeah, that helps the Lobos cause a little bit. I mean, it's an uphill battle, no doubt about it, with just over 5 minutes to play and down by 10, but field position starting at the 35 helps your cause, and you got to move the football quickly. We've seen it. 2 touchdown drives today for the Lobos. One was just under 2 minutes, and they had one that was 50 seconds at the end of the first half. They are certainly capable of moving this football down in a hurry.
And worth noting, star running back Brett Wendell, who left the game in the 3rd quarter, still not back in there, so it's the sophomore Brady Lettenmeyer. Potts aims an arrow over the middle. Trey Jacob nearly intercepted it. That had the potential. That had backbreaker potential.
He's made plays like crazy on offense, and he almost made the play of the game on defense. If he would have been able to pull that football in for the interception, that would have been crucial. Still good to bat that ball away, force an incompletion. Awesome job by Trey Jacob tonight on both sides of the football.
2nd and 10 from the 35, 5:07 to play. Potts with 3 consecutive incompletions. Colton Ness to the bottom of your screen. Potts over the middle. He's got Garrett Hebel, who's got some room, but he's tripped from behind, but gets down to the 40-yard line. Schumacher with the stop.
There was some late discussion on that defense for Linton HMB. I think they were scrambling. Not everybody was in position. That allows Hebel to leak out and be wide open to make the catch.
25-yard pickup to the 40, but Lobos need to move. They need the football back again after a score here. Potts. Houdini's out of trouble. Now he's going to tuck and run inside the 35, and he scrambles out close to the 30-yard line.
That's a great job by Potts to make something out of nothing that time. It looked like he had nobody downfield. He wanted to throw. Instead, he gets to the sideline, picks up a lot of yards.
Lions want to talk things over. They're nursing a 10-point lead. Lobos on the move.
Founded in 1950 as Dickey Rural Telephone, DRN has a lot to celebrate in our 70 years. Our services have changed, but one thing hasn't: our commitment to our members to furnish high-quality communications. DRN ReadyTech is 60 full-time employees, 4,600 miles of fiber, serving 7,600 access lines and 7,000 internet customers in 32 exchanges. We are proud to be the telecommunications cooperative in southeastern North Dakota for the past 70 years and into the future.
Linton HMB up 40-30, only 4 minutes and 42 seconds to go, but Lamoure Litchfield Marion on the move right now. They'll have 2nd down and 2 coming from the 33-yard line of Linton HMB. Plenty of time for a Lamoure offense that likes to operate quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they've taken off just 30 seconds so far on the clock on this drive, and they're already just outside the 30. They move it in a hurry.
Potts in the shotgun. Plenty of time to pass. Now he's flushed out. Back past the 45-yard line, and somehow Colton Ness holds it in. The officials confirmed, catch is good. Potts, who is back almost towards midfield, found a way to find Ness for a first down. Potts from the 23, all day to throw. Garrett Hebel, the pass was behind him, and the clock will stop at 4:20.
Great job by Vetter, too. He was one of the reasons why this pass was incomplete. You mentioned that it was thrown a little bit behind Hebel, but it was also Vetter who came in there and kind of made the play and hit Hebel as the ball came towards him, forced the incompletion, and now Lamoure has a chance to catch their breath, though. They've been hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. With the incompletion, they've got a chance to go back to the huddle here and draw something up, make a play call, and see what they can do here on second down.
2nd and 10 from the 23. Colton Ness set to the bottom of the formation. Potts looking the other way. Looking end zone for Bowman. Yes! Charlie Bowman into the end zone for the second time today from 23 yards out. And this one is far from over with 4:13 to go.
That is 2 touchdown drives today for Lamoure in under a minute. A 50-second drive at the end of the first half, a 58-second drive here to score as well. Make this a one-possession game again. And we were talking about, oh man, 5:11 to go, down 2 possessions. This is tough for Lamoure, but they just cruise down the field, and all of a sudden they're down just 4 points, a chance to make it 2, and there's still over 4 minutes to go.
That Lions 2-point conversion feels big now. Lobos can only cut the lead to 2. Potts throws a dart over the middle. Bowman hauls it in. He grabs a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and the lead for the Lions is just 2. Buckle up.
This presentation on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Farmers Union Insurance, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, Beck Communications Cooperative, DRN.
Corbin Potts not ready to go home just yet. His team down 10, 23 yards. He's looking for Charlie Bowman, and he's got Charlie Bowman for the second time today. And then why not one more time for the 2-point conversion. And the Linton HMB lead is down to just 2. 40-38, Lions in front here. 4:13 to play. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining in this fourth quarter as Linton HMB gets the football back. Be interesting to see what Andy Delabar does with those timeouts.
Yeah, I think that we kind of discussed it. I think you maybe wait on it for a little bit unless you can make a play in the backfield. That's when you call a timeout. Interesting lineup here for Linton HMB. They don't want to risk anything on a possible onside kick. They've got all 11 guys on the field within like 20 yards of the football, and now they're backing up just a little bit.
Lobos have already recovered 1 onside today. They'll just kick this deep. Lucas Schumacher goes back to catch it inside the 20. Schumacher, patient, looking for something to open up. That never does, and he just goes out of bounds. So with 4:05 to go, Lucas Schumacher and the Lions will try and just take some clock off. Just burn some clock right now. 4:05 to go. Linton HMB up 2.
You just want a drive that's identical to last drive, where you got some yards on the ground, you were picking up about 3 or 4 yards per carry, you were moving the chains, you were taking time off the clock. Even if Lamoure starts taking those timeouts, they were still picking up 3 or 4 yards per carry. If you do that again, you can salt this clock away with 4:05 to go.
Trey Jacob, he hasn't scored a touchdown today, but he's over 100 yards. He's the lead back in the I formation. breaks out of one tackle and able to stay in bound, doing a nice job on a couple of occasions there.
Yeah, you certainly want to pick up the yards, right? That's important to make sure you keep the drive going and you don't have to punt it away, but you have to slide and stay in bounds. You don't worry about picking up the extra yard or two. You worry about keeping it in bounds and either making Lamoure take a timeout, or if they don't, then the clock continues to run like it does right now.
2nd and 4 from the 32. We come up on 3.5 to go. Lions have scored touchdowns on their last 2 drives. Schumacher keeps it himself, plows ahead, and being pushed forward, propelled by his line. Lions keep the sticks moving, a huge first down.
That was big time right there to get the additional push. Schumacher does a great job himself, but then he just gets extra push in the back. First down, clock rolling still right now, just over 3 minutes to play. And now it's a situation where what do you do if you're Lamoure? Do you start calling the timeouts now, or do you still wait a little bit longer? I think it depends on how many yards they gain or lose on this play on first down.
Lamoure with all 3 of their timeouts. They hand off for Jacob. He cuts it up the middle, gets to the second level, spins out of another couple of tackles. Trey Jacob refuses to go down, and there was a flag on that play. There may have been a face mask as well. Trey Jacob trying to put an exclamation point on this one.
This is a grown man's run from Trey Jacob. You're right. There's the face mask, but then look at this. He drags defenders with him for 20 or 25 yards before he finally gets taken down inside the 30-yard line. This is an incredible run for Trey Jacob, and at this point, you just keep the clock rolling. You stay on the field if you're this offense for Linton HMB, and you force Lamoure to have to take their timeouts.
The officials are still discussing. It seemed like a clear face mask on Charlie Bowman that time around. It should be another 15 yards tacked on the end of this run. And it is just that, as the officials call it. Huge run from Trey Jacob. Over 20 yards on that last pickup, probably over 30 even. And the senior running back, Tanner Purrington told us another week that he's shifty, he's a little difficult to bring down. That might be one of the undersells of the century.
Yeah, he's more than just a little difficult to bring down. It seems like every time he's had the football, he could have been stopped for a short gain, but he just keeps on running and picks up extra yardages after the hit.
It's a 44-yard pickup and then a 15 yards extra on the flag, so it ends up going for 59 yards. It'll be first down and 10 from the 12, and they'll just keep riding Trey Jacob. He's upended inside the 10-yard line, and Lobos will use their first timeout of the half. 2:07 to go. Can the Lions put a bow on this one?
Degelman Industries has been manufacturing reliable, high-performance equipment for over 55 years. See for yourself with the industry-leading Degelman Land Roller. Available in sizes from 20 to 80 feet, a Degelman Land Roller decreases downtime and fuel cost and provides optimal seed-to-soil contact while reducing weeds and moisture loss. Visit Degelman.com for more information and to find an authorized dealer near you. Degelman, engineered tough.
You think Trey Jacob has been in the weight room? Take a look at this run. Gets to the second level. Face mask, it's nothing. Try and strip the ball, good luck. And then dragging 2, 3, there are 4 black jerseys in the vicinity. And that's how many it took down to take down Trey Jacob. A 44-yard pickup, tack on 15 more for the face mask. And now it is second down and 6 from the 8-yard line. Lions with a 2-point lead with 2:07 to play. Lamoure just used their first timeout of the second half. Linton in no rush. Schumacher keeps it himself, plows ahead for a few more yards. And we're now nearly under 2 minutes to go. Andy Delabar wisely uses his second timeout immediately. Well, actually, he won't use a timeout. Clock just stops on the first down. And so now the clock continues to run. Surprised to see the timeout not be used, but he does pick up the first down, so it'll be first down and goal from the 2.
I think that's why he didn't take the timeout. It was on the first down. I think he's waiting to see if Linton scores in this play, then he keeps his 2 timeouts instead of having just 1.
First and goal from the 2. Schumacher, and he'll take a knee.
I like that.
And Lamoure will take a timeout. Their second of the half. Linton playing the long game, trying to run this one out.
You just might find the home of your dreams this weekend by watching the Alliance Real Estate Tour of Homes Sundays at 6 p.m. and Wednesdays at 7 on Beck, featuring properties from Bismarck, Mandan, Minot, and surrounding areas. The Alliance Real Estate Tour of Homes presents desirable properties that are for sale, lets you meet your Alliance realtors, and provides critical insights into local happenings from community and business leaders. Join us this Sunday evening at 6 or Wednesday at 7 for the Alliance Real Estate Tour of Homes on Beck.
Let's get a quick game break. Langton area, Edmore, Munich, all over Bishop Ryan right now in the Class A semis, 55-21 as the Cardinals try and get back to the Dakota Bowl. Looks like they're well on their way there. Back to our game, a much closer affair. Linton HMB up 40-38. It's second and goal from the 3. Lions just took a knee on their last play to run out some clock. This time Schumacher falls forward for about a yard. And Lamoure will use their third and final timeout when we come back. Third and goal for Linton.
Dakota Chevy Dealers. Beck Communications Cooperative. DRN.
Beck Communications is honored to be recently recognized with 3 Broadband Now awards. Beck Communications Cooperative was awarded in the categories of Top Internet Speeds Nationwide, Top 3 Fastest Internet Providers in North Dakota, and North Dakota's #1 Fastest Fiber Provider.
So 1:28 to go. It'll be third down and goal from the 1. Lions have taken a knee and then just fallen forward. Lobos just used their last timeout. Schumacher and Eastside just fall down at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be fourth down and goal at the 1, but Lamoure out of timeouts.
Yeah, this is an awesome decision, I think, from Tanner Purinton, the head coach, to just do this. We've seen at the college level and even the NFL level of teams not staying out of the end zone when they should have, when they could have run more time off the clock. Todd Gurley did it for the Falcons a couple weeks ago, which in turn they end up losing the game against the Lions because they gave the Lions a chance with more time. I love this play call to not go into the end zone until you absolutely have to take time off the clock.
Fourth and goal from the 1, so even if they pick up a stop here, Lobos will have to go 99 yards. And Linton HMB will let the play clock run down and take their final timeout of the half. 43 ticks left in this one.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
So Linton HMB will have fourth down and goal at the 1. A chance with a touchdown and a conversion to essentially put this game away. And if Lamoure comes up with the stop, it's what they need, but they'd have to go 99 yards to win this ball game. Schumacher with Jacob in the eye. He'll take it himself. No signal yet. Touchdown! Lucas Schumacher, his second rushing touchdown of the game, and the senior with a 2-point conversion could seal the Lions' fate into the Dakota Bowl.
Fantastic job keeping it. He gets some push from his players behind him, scores the touchdown, a 2-point conversion away from winning this game and heading back to the Dakota Bowl for the first time in 9 years.
We've seen Lamoure score quickly on more than a few occasions, so getting the ball back with 35 seconds isn't not doable for them, but they need to get this stop here first. Linton has scored on the last two-point conversion tries. Schumacher goes right, keeps it himself, leaps. No, he's not in. And just like that, it's life for the Lobos. 38 seconds to go between the Lobos and possibly overtime.
Howdy folks, it's the County Line Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our hay-busting breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at a salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous County Line burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spur-rattling pie with a cum roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the County Line.
The Lobos went just 5-5 a season ago, lost in the first round, 44-6 to Cavalier. Now they are in the state semifinals trying to get back to the Dakota Bowl for the first time since 2003. They stop a Linton HMB 2-point conversion to keep this at a one-possession game. They'll have 38 seconds and no timeouts to try and tie this game up with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. It doesn't get much better than this.
No, and it doesn't seem likely that it can happen, right? Well, Lamoure scored 2 touchdowns today in less than a minute. A 50-second drive and a 58-second drive today. This is within a doable distance for Lamoure to be able to pull this off. Down 8, they need the touchdown, they need the 2-point conversion. They've got to get it done with no timeouts and 38 seconds to go. This is what the season comes down to.
9-man football at its finest from Lamoure. It's a short kick, and it's just fallen on, so no real return that time around. It was Andrew Hoff, the senior, is falling on it, so only 1 second comes off the clock. 37 seconds to go for Lamoure. They've played much of the second half without their star senior running back, Brett Wendell, who left the game with an injury late in the third quarter. They'll start things from their own 32-yard line. No timeouts remaining. Potts finds Ness, and he's able to get out of bounds near the first down marker.
Everything for Lamoure has to be a first down or get out of bounds, because if not, the clock continues to run. No timeouts on first downs. The clock will stop while it's being spotted, so everything has to be towards the sideline, or if you're going to go to the middle, that's fine, but you got to guarantee yourself picking up the first down.
9-yard pickup, so it's 2nd and 1 from the 41. Potts. Plenty of time. He finds Ness again, but he's nowhere near the sideline. Makes a couple of white jerseys miss. He laterals it back, and Lettenmeyer just falls on it. And we've got a flag on the field. They may get Linton here for a late hit.
They do.
And a massive play. Colton Ness with a big gamble, lateraling it here as he was falling to the turf. Lettenmeyer's on it. And it's a late hit. It was Derek Vetter and Rafe Kalama both there. An extra 15 yards, and now with just 18 seconds to go, the Lobos are inside Lions territory, down to the 41-yard line. They've already scored on a 49-yard touchdown pass today. Potts, arrow over the middle, has Garrett Hebel down to the 30. No timeouts for Lamoure. Clock stops momentarily on the first down. 11 ticks to go. Clock runs, and Potts spikes. 2 seconds fall off the clock.
This is Absolutely incredible to move the football down the field like they have with no timeouts. They're picking up first downs. They're getting out of bounds. They're spiking the ball when they need to. This is a clinic right now for the Lamoure offense. Still need the touchdown, the two-point conversion, but, man, they are moving the football down the field quickly right now.
They just put 2 seconds back on the clock. Went from 9 seconds to 11.
That's interesting because 11 seconds is where it was at, and then they had to continue to run the clock after that before the spike. So I'm not 100% sure why they'd add the 2 seconds back on, but that certainly helps Lamoure here.
Yeah, Tanner Pernton just had a long exchanging of pleasantries with the officials, and the clock will remain at 11 seconds. 1st and 10 from the 30, 11 seconds and no timeouts. Potts gets it to Hebel. Hebel reaching for the sideline. Clock continues to run. Vetter was able to bring him down in bounds. Clock stops momentarily on the first down. 3 seconds to go. Potts spikes it with 1 second on the clock. Great football IQ right now from both sides. First, Dean Vetter, a great job of wrapping Hebel up in bounds, and then Potts were able to get up and spike it quickly. It'll all come down to this.
One play from the 19-yard line, and I gotta imagine Corbin Potts might be looking the way of Ness, his big tight end who's been phenomenal all season long. It comes down to this. You either win and go to the state championship, or your season comes to an end. They need a touchdown and the two-point conversion to send it to overtime.
Ness over 100 yards receiving. Charlie Bowman over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Delay a game, backs him up to the 24.
Absolutely crushing play. So back up 5 more yards. 24 yards. Ness in the slot. Potts rolls, he's under pressure. End zone. Schumacher bats it down. And the Lions going back to the Dakota Bowl for the first time since 2011. Number 1 goes down. Linton HMB finds a way to pull it out on the road. They hand Lamoure Litchfield Marion their first loss of the season. What a finish.
Unbelievable job by Linton HMB to knock that football away, secure the win, knocking off the number 1 team in the state here in the semifinals. And for the first time in 9 years, Linton HMB is on to the Dakota Bowl.
And now time for a hashtag People First Player of the Game presented by Choice Bank. And Landon Bush, the sophomore, came into the game with just 2 touchdowns. He had a hat trick today.
He was unbelievable. Made some phenomenal catches in the end zone. Touchdowns, 2-point conversions, you name it. He made play after play, and he's a large reason why this team is headed to the state championship, just holding off Lamoure on the final play of the game.
Bush with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, both on critical 4th down plays. The Lions headed back to the Dakota Bowl for the first time since 2011. Just to put a bow on this for Lamoure Litchfield Marion, obviously a heartbreaking finish, but what a season for the Lobos.
Yeah, they were undefeated, number 1 in the state. They came into this game, hard-fought battle. They come up just short today to try to get to the state championship.
Linton HMB has 1 more week of football to be played. They'll head to the Dakota Bowl. They'll take on the winner of Cavalier and Beach. Cavalier was on top in the second half at last check. That is going to do it today from Lamoure. It has been a fantastic semifinal matchup. So happy you could join us today. From our entire Beck Sports Plus crew, Director Jordan Lowy, graphics operator Jeff Waletzko, camera operators Jesse Schwab, Noah Reed, and yours truly, David Sugarman. Noah Reed doing double overtime today. Camera operator and color broadcaster. Fantastic job as always. That is going to do it. Have a safe weekend. And if you're a Lions fan, enjoy your trip to Fargo.